Computer.
Okay.
We're officially starting our call tonight. I'm really excited. I got a lot of ideas to share with you. We can talk a little bit about what Adam, um, his last call, and there were some questions that came up that I think are really good to talk about. And a lot of good stuff came out. I don't know if you guys are all catching Adam's calls on the Thursday nights. I know Meg is on, but she's falling asleep half the time being on the East Coast and they're late. But for those that maybe didn't get a chance to get the whole call or, have time zone issues or whatever, I thought we'd talk a little bit about what was discussed on the call because it was just excellent. And also I'm going to introduce a new concept that I think it's new to Cherrington, and it's something I've been playing with and doing some thinking and some research around. And of course, I've been kind of taking a little unique angle with my bridge pages, and I'd like to play into that a little bit tonight, just discussing ideas that could, I believe, improve our landing page metrics, increase our opt-in rates, and get it to the offer quicker. So I'm very excited about that. I shared about a little bit of the topic tonight in the weekly call section on Discord that's under the official portal. And for anybody who might be catching these calls after the fact and they're not on live, I just wanted to encourage you guys. We have the Zoom link to the calls posted at the top of the weekly calls section in the official portal. I have my creative strategy section on the left-hand side, and under there I have different sections for archive calls and different things that we've been through. And now with the weekly calls is where I'm posting these Zoom calls that we're doing right now, particularly with the new angle on the bridge pages and the new traffic source that Adam's released with Cherrington. I want to really get behind that and see what we can do to increase our success on the ad platform with some of these strategies that I've been playing with and ideas. And I think if we can get some good case studies to go along with what Adam is doing for us, I think it's going to help the whole community ultimately. So
I
that's
got a,
the goal. So
I'm
anyway,
excited. I got a question. Are you going to show us one of your pages?
yes, yeah. I
Cool.
know you, Aimie, you've missed the last few weeks. So to catch you up, we've been kind of playing with the new tools that Sherrington's offering for bridge pages. Oh, Eli's joining us. Yay. Hey, Eli, welcome. So,
Hello. Sorry I'm late.
so I'm glad you joined, and I know how it is with kids. So we're just
Yeah,
having, and
I was just gonna mention that I probably will be about 5 to 10 minutes late every Tuesday. It's
yeah.
time where Riley's going out the door.
Oh,
So,
well, at least you
for
got a
dukes.
little break there
Yes,
after.
literally kicked her out the door. No, I'm just kidding.
So is it your husband takes the kids somewhere so you have more chance to focus, or how does that work?
No, I wish. She's going to dance.
Oh, dance. Well, that
Yeah.
works. So at least
Yeah.
the dance class is quiet, maybe.
Well, yeah.
But the two,
They'll be back
That's great.
within the hour. So,
Well, we have Aimie joining us tonight. It's the first time in a few weeks. I think she had some health issues and other things that came up that kind of
I
delayed.
had a side hustle to make some extra money. Okay. That's the reality too. We
Yes.
all have to have them.
Yep.
So I'm happy
nice.
to be here because I'm running out of ad spend.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm excited. I have some new ideas that I've been toying with, especially, well, you guys know I'm always trying to come up with unique ideas and ways to monetize traffic. And I got a new store on Amazon. I have 5 teachers launched as well. The only catch I have right now is I want to develop an ad strategy around it. I can always play with the social media traffic and see how that goes, although it is new for me. So my social media is not used to me having t-shirts. So that's going to be a whole new thing. I'm learning how to do filming, and anyway, that's just another side gig I'm working on because I have 5 strategies in my guide, and my goal is to develop very specific training on each strategy. It's going to start with kind of the main things you need to know, and I'm building a membership community around it. The goal, I have 2 things I'm developing. Just on the personal side, I have a coaching program that I'm developing. You guys are in the beta program launch, and so it means your stuff is completely free. And Sharon and I open it up to any students who might hear this recording. I really want to partner with you guys and help you guys no matter where you're at. If you with Cherrington, if you're with or if you've been with Cherrington, whether current or former or whatever your status is, I just want to put that out. I want to be able to help you guys because I've been in the place where ad spend's running out. I had other issues that related to my ad spend issue, things that I tried I thought was going to fund my ad account didn't work out. And then I had house repairs, car problem. Well, somebody hit me, T-boned me, and totally not my fault, but lost the vehicle. So there goes a lot of costs there. So all that together made it prohibitive for me to really push forward with the method of just throwing ads out. You know, at the time it was up to 4,000 just to get your ads to break even. And then you got to keep working and spending, but when you break even, at least you're recouping your costs. But a lot of folks ran out of funds. I know for me, I didn't even have enough for that. And so I was grateful that Adam, and I know he offers his out to different mentees who give a review. He'll give you some money towards your ad spend. So with what he gave me and then some other money I was able to pull together, I have enough right now to get launched again. But it's been a process. And in the process of going, wait, I have a one shot on this. What if my product doesn't work? I can't get the ads converting. I was already testing a bunch of products before I had all the problems with ad spend. And I was like, what am I going to do? Because if this doesn't work, I'm out cold turkey. I've got this little bit. And then we had a lot of issues with live intent right around the same time. And you guys know how tough live intent was with compliance. And then now they closed down the platform. So I'm just like, okay, I'm kind of thankful I've been delayed in actually implementing future ads because that allowed me to study more of these other strategies for income generation. And now I'm going to build a program around it. It'll be two-pronged. One will be the Jumpstart Your Academy coaching program. For Cherrington students, you guys are going to get a major discount. And for you guys, totally free. You're in the beta group. And then and possibly, depends. I'll talk to Adam before I charge any Cherrington student anything. But for your friends or whatever that want to jump in at some point, that's going to be something I'll be opening up. And then particularly also for people that want to continue on. Jumpstart's a 3-month course. I get your site up like I'm doing with you guys right now. I help you guys with technical work, getting email integrations, building an email sequence. The goal there is to just help you get a base platform to start bringing in different monetization ideas, whether it's a drop shipping store, whether it's now t-shirt business that I'm doing, and all these other things that you guys can do to make money. So I want to have that as the core curriculum jumpstart, just get you going. And then the second part will be a year and possibly longer set of trainings around the 5 different strategies of income generation: affiliate marketing and blogs, the first one, and UGC content with brands. I even found out some platforms where you don't have to have a following on social media to get started working with brands. And to be able to find something like that when you're like on Amazon, you have to have 1,000 followers, you have to have enough engagement. It could cost some money trying to get going. So I'm exploring these other options for people that don't have that following and need to get started right away. So I'm planning to put a program like that together. I also plan to do of course, the merch on demand, print on demand, KDP books that you can put on and make some income through that. And then, of course, we also have membership courses. The idea of taking your knowledge in an area like Meg's doing right now, building a program specifically that could go high ticket with people struggling with pain and who knows what other health issues she might lump into that. And then also, of course, the blog idea with Eli and Aimie and Alisa, just different things that you guys can develop, the mini courses that maybe it's not a high ticket program, but it's something people would pay a monthly fee to be part of that program and that community. So that is another source of monetization. So a lot of things, if I get all 5 of them, and then of course royalties and with your books and videos on YouTube and getting monetized with YouTube and Facebook and Instagram Reels, even Facebook will pay you if you get enough following going on that. I'm not there on Facebook, but I am on YouTube. So everything together, even if you don't get wildly successful and have like a viral video go off and now you got 1 million views, even if you don't have that, if you have a bunch of these things working together in your system, you could replace your income. And in the ministry side of my experience, right now we're running $75,000 to $80,000 a year in donations. And it's not owned by me. It's a corporation that board of directors run as nonprofit, but I'm able to take a paycheck from that. It's only a third of what I can do because we are actually doing a lot of ministry work that goes 100% into funding the work on the field. But the whole idea is I've already had success with blogs and YouTube working to build a base of income in the nonprofit side. So I'm like, let's leverage what I've learned there and then all the other things that I'm learning to build income. And I think each of us could get on our feet with different things that we develop and can monetize. And this aspect with Cherrington and the new traffic sources, the ability to pay for ads at a much cheaper cost and less compliance issues than Facebook, I think is a real huge advantage that Cherrington has. So the biggest problem that I see that Cherrington has for a lot of the students, and I've been here a couple years because I too was in the place where, oh no, I lost my husband. So a lot of students have trouble because you don't know how to market very well when you begin. Something Adam is doing now that he didn't have available before with the bridge pages is he's now giving us a tool with free ad copy where we can take the VSL and you can use like I've showed this before. Words 365 has a dictate options in it. You could take your phone next to your computer and monitor, just play that with your phone, let your computer dictate with Word the text of your VSL. And you can put that right into free ad copy. It will spin out a sample bridge page and a number of headlines to kind of get you started in framing a bridge page to your offer. That's something new. I don't know, Aimie, if you've seen some of that, but
No.
that's one of the new methods that Adam has come up with. I think it's excellent. It's giving you guys a tool that when I came on, we didn't have that. We had to kind of rely on either pages that Adam and his team put together for Media Mavens or whatever Clickbank put together. We were trying to come up with our own bridge text. When I came on, they didn't even have ChatGPT. I mean, that's how early. I came on just as ChatGPT was being launched. Adam and the team didn't know about it. We were just learning it together. And I remember the nights I would spend hours trying to come up with 25, 50 headlines. Oh my gosh. And now in 5 minutes with these new tools, we could throw something into Gemini or ChatGPT and come up with all these headlines. It's
So,
amazing.
Christy, I got a
Yeah.
question on that. Are you saying that with some of these tools, you can literally create your own bridge page, even if rather than using the like Media Maven landing pages?
Yeah. Yes. Well,
Okay, great.
let's
Because
explain.
I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah.
I do not believe that those landing pages will convert. They're not good.
Yeah. Well, I know they're redoing that. So they've also kind of put a hold on doing the Media Maven side. Not to say you can't push a Media Maven's product, but what they're telling people is let's work off of ClickBank right now that we have it back. Their VSLs are top notch. You can see the gravity, you can tell what's converting. So go
Yeah,
with something that's working. And then Media Mavens
yeah.
right now, Dan Rodriguez was working with me on coming up with videos for a lot of the cat products and then other influencers they were working with for more products videos to try to improve the metrics on those pages. So I know it's in the works to improve the
Well,
page. And
okay.
also, Adam mentioned on his last call that Dan has been promoted to testing pages and he has a background in this. He used to
Okay,
do
good.
a lot of marketing. So I think that's all going to get fixed over time. The one advantage that Adam's Media Mavens has over ClickBank is the fact that they don't claw back refunds. So if you get a refund on your product, you don't lose that in your affiliate commissions. So cost-wise, Media Mavens can be better, but if they're not converting, you're paying it out on the ad side.
Yeah.
So I think they're in the
I
right direction.
I think that those products will convert, just not in those landing pages. I think because I am, they're drop ship products,
Mhm.
and I am actually going to be testing the Skin Spectra in a completely different strategy because I'll tell you, red light therapy is huge.
Yes.
It's the big rage, and some of these things are so stupid looking. They're like masks and crap, and the amount of money that people are spending on this stuff. And I think that Skin Spectra is a good product as far as trending.
Yep. Yes.
That's why I want to bring it in because it has a health aspect as well with the red light. If anyone understands red light therapy, it
Yes.
is amazing.
Have you seen Adam's listicle too that he's been developing with more red light therapies in the
No,
gadget industry? Yeah, I got a chance to look at it because I was going to help with filming some of that. And so, like the
cool.
masks you see and some of the other
Yeah,
things he's playing with, they're working through things, but there's also tariffs right now. The big
yeah,
trade wars, and a
yeah,
lot of that comes from China.
yeah.
So I think that's another reason because
Are
Adam,
you guys is US getting hit with tariffs from out of China to into the US?
I believe so because China has to send it over, but I don't know the details. I just have heard that there are issues. And then you have I know there's a lot with Canada and US right now, but there's that factor. I don't know because the suppliers that send me products to review for them on their Amazon stores, they don't charge me for tariffs or anything. So I'm not on the fulfillment side that Adam's team is on. So, or the Media Mavens team. So I can't speak to that, but I do know like with what Amazon
The
is doing right
Americans,
now.
the Americans are charging China a 10% tariff, and they're waiting to see what China will retaliate with. So
Okay,
that's
that
eh, honestly, all the tariffs keep flip-flopping and changing daily.
10% isn't bad.
No,
compared to 25% in
Here,
Canada.
here in Canada, we've got our government stupidity that are now going back and forth. Well, you know,
yeah,
Alisa, I mean,
I
25,
actually spent
50.
all day in forums about it because I'm like, I can't believe how dumb people are.
Yeah,
Sorry, but I'm at that point today. It's it amazes me. We literally had a leader that was elected by 150,000 people out of 40, roughly 42 million, that took over leadership of our country. We did not,
he was not elected. He was
no,
selected.
Oh, like
yes,
what they
Selected.
yes,
tried to
that's
pull
right.
here.
Selected.
No
And
experience. No experience in politics.
Ugh.
and well,
That's
because
how goofy it is here in Canada.
he
Sorry,
and
Alyssa, I
he's
had to
no, it's
chime
okay.
in.
He's bad news. He was the um finance minister, CEO of a bunch of banks in
Mhm.
Britain. He literally destroyed them
Yep,
and took their dollar to nothing.
Oh,
yep,
wow.
And he's literally going to do the same here.
yep.
Like we are literally, Gary and I sat down, we're literally trying to map out how fast we can leave and go to Mexico
Yeah.
because
I'm with you,
they're,
Alyssa. I'm plotting the same
yeah,
demise. I'm like,
it's
I'm
not
getting out
just
of this country.
you don't have a choice because they're going to win. They're going to, well, so what they did is they changed leadership. I'll make this short. They changed leadership. Now they're pushing the election that because the only reason you can change leadership is because an election's going to be called. And they're going, oh, no, we're changing leadership. And now there won't be an election. So too bad for you. So
Yeah,
Well, look at
basically,
what the Democrats did. They put Kamala Harris in as their lead runner, and she had not a single vote. So it's the same communistic, take control
yeah,
dictatorship
exactly, and
government.
that's
yeah,
exactly who the liberals are.
Yep.
yeah.
But the media here is even more in control than you guys. Like, you should see our Facebook. Like, content can't be seen, content can't
It's
be
very
seen,
biased.
content.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
They're
And
threatening to shut down things like
YouTube,
to X,
yeah,
where
Yep.
Canadians can't use X
yeah,
because we have this censorship law. We're
yeah,
like little minions here in Canada.
yeah.
They
And
treat us
people,
like,
the media is paid for by the left, by the liberals.
yeah,
We don't have Fox News. We don't have a secondary platform. So everybody's jumped on board and went, oh gosh, Carney's going to go toe to toe with Trump because he's the bad guy. When literally, um, yes, Trump has promised the 25% tariffs, but there were two things that Trudeau had to do: stop letting immigrants into our country, one, and stop letting fentanyl over the border. That
Yep.
was it.
That's it.
That's
Yep.
all he had to do. He refused because Trudeau is in bed. Actually, there's just literally an article. He just got caught sitting down with a cartel lead
Yep.
having lunch.
Yep.
Literally, it's that bad.
Yeah.
But of course, that got taken off all the
You're not
platforms.
allowed to know about it. Well, that censorship, literally, if it hadn't been for Elon Musk doing what he did to
Mhm.
buy X,
I know.
get free speech, he's like, we won't have a real election again if Trump
Yep.
doesn't get in and stop the nonsense of the liberals taking over everything.
Yep.
They're
Yep.
censoring. They tried to kill. Well, I can't say they tried, but they allowed whoever to come into the country and the others that were in the country to leave Trump totally unguarded. And
Yeah.
what was up with that? Tell me, FBI agents don't know the most vulnerable place to allow somebody to get on a roof? Come on. You know,
So they're literally have everyone steaming. This is how bad it is about the 25% tariffs. Yet on April 1st, they're adding a 19% tax in their own country again. They have done it 3 times in less than 2 years. And it is literally there. We have jumped from, I think it was 4 million food. What's the term for people that can't get enough food? They
yeah.
believe after this next tax jump, that'll be 9 million people out of 42 that can't afford to eat.
Scarcity. Yep.
Yeah.
And then we're
And
going to
that's
get hit. Then we're getting hit with the carbon tax increase in April.
that's what I'm talking about. It's 19% April
Yep.
1st. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And
yeah,
it's almost been 60% tax on our heating bills, electrical, and then trucking.
Yeah.
And so our groceries, like a loaf of bread, is going to be probably $6 now.
we
Yeah.
got $8 for eggs for a while with the bird flu, and then
Our eggs are already $8.
Yeah.
They'll be more than that.
well, and
Yeah.
that might explain why more on my green living off grid site, more of my customers are from Canada than even the American.
Because they know, one, with the tariffs, what the grocery stores have now done is they're going to starve us out because they're refusing to sell anything American because that's how the media said to combat it. We don't have anybody here selling producing groceries. We're screwed.
Totally.
Like they're going to run out of food.
And
It's
they
a
want that
mess.
because if you can control the people's food, heating,
That's right.
utility,
Yep.
housing, and right here, your housing's been going through the roof. I can only imagine what you guys are doing. It takes 2 wage earners for a house. So ask yourself, how is a single mom or somebody who's in an abusive relationship can't get out because
It's not going to happen.
you can't, or you
So,
live in your cars and you go down, like in America, you can go down and live on the streets,
yeah.
in warmer areas of the country.
Well, British Columbia is so drawn into this. They have vending machines with free drugs.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's
walk
where
up.
I live.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, so
it's incredible.
Yeah.
BC is the biggest fentanyl
Yep. Supporter,
supplier. I
handwriter.
call them drug pushers
Yep.
in North America.
Yep.
There's cartels here.
Yep.
It is insane. It's so unsafe to be in
Yep.
Vancouver.
Yep.
Yeah, and this happened in a very short period of time. Okay,
Anyways.
sorry,
enough,
Christy, we
Yeah,
got all
sorry.
political. It's
I know
like
we
the
did.
Gong Show.
And I forgot to turn the AI companion to start recording the transcript, but I just kind of got a little in the middle. So, guys, for those of you who are reading the transcript, we were doing a recap of kind of the new changes with Cherrington and the new direction towards these Clickbank products that are better converting, and also the bridge page ability to link that to an offer. Now, I want to point out something you asked a minute ago, Aimie, about whether Cherrington is allowing us to use our bridge pages in place of the Media Mavens landing page. I
Yeah.
want to clarify that because I said, yes, we can use the bridge page, but they're still going to go to the offer page for checkout. So if you look at the Media Mavens offers, and I don't know if there's a separate link you could get to be able to avoid
Go
that
right
page
to the shopping cart.
because I'm not sure it's trackable. I don't know how.
I know that's one thing I am trying to figure out with affiliate products
Yeah.
is because I'm running a Shopify store
Okay.
and I don't want to send somebody to to a landing page that's not mine. I would prefer to send it to the shopping cart
Yes.
with the affiliate link. When I figure that out, I will let you know.
Yeah, so like WooCommerce, you can have an external product link on your product. And this is how I used to do it with ClickBank when I had WooCommerce on Green Living Off Grid, and then I've done some changes with it. But I'm gonna do stuff with Best Home Gardens separate, but yeah, it's related. It's a separate site. I have a WooCommerce store. You can bring your affiliate links in, but this is where it gets a little confusing, at least for me, that I discovered if I had tangible products on my store that people could check out on my store platform and then affiliate links as well, it got confusing to the customer because they go add to cart and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
it's taking them to a totally different page. So the way I'm structuring things right now for affiliate products, like with Amazon and all my linking there, and now I have a t-shirt merch on demand store with Amazon. And
Cool.
I got that going. So what I'm going to do is have a blog site, and I'm going to handle all the Amazon merch on the blog site, and everything that is on that site is going to go straight to Amazon. So there's no confusion. So that's why
Yeah.
Green Living Off Grid is linking into my Amazon affiliate products. And if the like any ClickBank products I put on are on the Green Living Off Grid, but my separate site, Best Home Gardens, is where I have my drop shipping products. Those are the products people can check out on my platform, and then I can, source them with the suppliers. And I'll do the same thing with my merch product. I'm going to also begin a merch store on some of my platforms. I think I'm going to do Creative Life Freedom as a .com. I email through that domain on my so Creative Profits Academy is my main course site, and then creativelifefreedom.com is the email domain that I email through because I discovered that if you use the word profit or money or anything financial in a domain, it sometimes gets blocked by email providers because they think, oh, it's another one of those scam products. So Creative Profits Academy, I was concerned about the word profits being used as a domain for my emails. So when I set things up, I set that up with the courses for Creative Profits Academy, just its own standalone site, separate site, Creative Life Freedom. I do a lot of blogging on there with what's out there already in my 5 different strategy niches. So I got some good videos. I got a good blog archive, and then I'm going to bring t-shirt merch. And so I'm going to have a number of different t-shirts that are going to be tied in to Printify, which is a print-on-demand platform, but allows you to bring products directly into a WooCommerce store. And when the customer checks out, automatically, I believe, and I'm going to see how well this works, but I believe it automatically sends that order to Printify to print and source and actually retail, send everything, and then they just charge your card. The difference between what they charge for their services and what you charge on your site will be your profit margin. So it's just like drop shipping, only I think it's a little more automatic with some of these merch products, and I'm excited to give it a try. So that's another
Yeah.
thing I'm exploring.
Cool. Hey, that sounds when and if I can find a way to remove the landing page, the affiliate landing page, and just, because you really have that little code at the end of the
Yeah.
URL. If there's a way that you can just connect it to a shopping cart in your store,
Yeah.
that's my mission this week, is to figure that out. And when
Yeah.
I do and
I
test it, I'll let you know.
I think it'll be pretty easy. I know the external products is what it's called in WooCommerce. And you could just put your affiliate link. Now, what you have to check with Media Mavens is what is the direct affiliate link just to the checkout. And it may be that you have to use the landing page they provide. That would be something to discuss with, I think, them and possibly Cherrington support. Maybe I don't know. I know you can
I have a question on that. I have been trying to get answers for weeks on Skin Spectra inventory.
Mm-hmm.
I have been bumped so many times. I sent to support, then it's no contact Media Mavens, no contact support, and now I don't have an answer. Like, it literally is like 3 emails back and forth, 2 to 3 days for responses. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
that's
but
true.
that's unacceptable.
Well, I don't know what's going on with that part, but what I would suggest is if you know that you can create your own affiliate link to Skin Spectra, I do believe it's one of those products you can go in to the site, that generates the links. It's not a listicle, it's a specific product. You can generate your affiliate link, and that's what was used originally in the old platform for your
Okay.
ads.
Okay.
So
Cool.
I would just do that. I know it's going to go to their landing page, whatever, but if you create a good copy on your page on your store, it can undo any concerns you have on landing page because it's really just you're just looking to check out.
Yeah.
So
Amy,
that's
Yes.
what
sorry to cut in, Christy.
yeah, go ahead.
I think if you book Neil, he might be able to help you
Oh, good
from the
idea.
one-on-ones.
Oh, okay.
He's a little bit of a good deep diver. And I think
Okay.
what you're looking for, would that not be like Digitracks? A little bit to do with Digitracks, Christy?
The
Or
the
DIY tracks
DIY
or
tracks. Yeah,
yeah.
that's for tracking the metrics between the ads you run to
Mhm.
your landing page or bridge page, then landing page. That would be where DIY tracks would be used. Now, Amy, I don't know if you're running ads or if you're just going to have a store with all your products and you'll drive people to your store generally, then you're not really doing a DIY tracks on it, are you?
Yeah, no, I'm not doing any ads right now.
Okay.
And yeah, the article, whatever the article is, I'm using the link to my store and then it's, yeah,
Okay, well then that would be Flexi. You're getting the link
yeah.
to create,
But I
like
do
you
want
can
to,
create the landing page and not use it because then you're just using the link.
Yeah.
yeah,
But-
I'm just using the links right now, but I will be checking out tomorrow in Flexi what they're doing.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the little insider info on the red light listicle.
Mhm.
That will be good.
It will be, and we'll see
Where
what
did you see
that
that?
it was a gadget listicle where they had a lot of red light therapy
Oh,
products. And the way Adam has designed it in the past, and I think when he brings listicles back, we could do that. We can edit that listicle page and put them in the order we want. We could potentially remove products and just make it just strictly red light. My guess would be that would convert better than something that's too broad with a bunch of different products.
Well, it
But
might be just smart to do your own listicle with red light and just use drop shipper products because there's a ton of them there.
well, and then if you're going to explore that, I would tend to go 100% on your platform if you're wanting to do that versus affiliate. I'm separating my affiliate on a separate website just so there's no confusion in the checkout.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I actually have two stores.
Okay.
Yeah, one is what I've learned about advertising. One is just specifically supplements.
Hmm.
When you're advertising supplements, it's very hard. The compliance is really tough. You
Yeah.
can't like it's really hard. You like I almost got my account shut down and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna leave the products, do not advertise. That'll be interesting if Adam is working on it because I know health
Well, that's
wellness supplements
you missed a
and
lot. Yeah. So with him going to a brand new traffic source, they are so much more lenient on our
okay.
ad banners. You still have to be careful. Yeah, he has his own internal team for compliance just to look it over so that you don't stretch the boundaries too far in claims. But
Yeah.
aside from that, they're really it's nothing like Live Intent was. I
Okay,
think
good
if you
to
watch
know.
them, his calls are really good.
yeah, you're
So
gonna
they'll show
you're gonna
you.
have to go watch his Thursday night calls, catch up
Yeah.
Was
on
that
them.
last Thursday's?
It's been the last 3 weeks, last
Yeah.
three,
I
4 weeks.
saw a couple of them, but I didn't get last week, so I'll watch that one.
Yeah, it
'Cause-
was really good. And then what
okay,
I wanted to
cool.
talk about tonight had to do with last week's calls too. Um, Before I get too far ahead of things, because I'll get to that part, but I want to also address some of the folks here that might have to leave earlier or have to be off. Like Eli, I don't know if she had any questions before her kids come home from dance. I thought I'd throw that out if she's able to talk. I just don't want to and I know Meg had some questions too. So I kind of want to get out on the table what the questions are, and I really want to cover angles that you could do with your bridge page. Hey, Eli.
Cool. Yeah,
Hi, I just wanted to come off
I love to
camera.
see them.
I wanted to come off camera really quick. Just mention I have no questions. I know we have been talking like week to week. Last week I actually started a organic TikTok page.
Good.
So, and I've been doing a lot of research there on how to increase following. And what I've learned, in case anybody wants to know, is that I've learned that posting at certain times. So for me and my niche of adhering to the mom niche, you can post in the morning between 6:30 and 8:30.
Is that what time zone?
That is my time zone.
Okay, Pacific time zone. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then if around lunchtime, you're not really going to get much views. But when you do post stuff, it stays on your page. So that as you gain followers, you get more views on the previous stuff that you posted. So then people will start liking stuff you posted, you know, the first time. So you're trying to get your likes, and on your main page, it shows you your who you're following, who your followers are, how many likes you have in the entirety. What I've learned is you can have a link tree. They do a link tree there. So you can do the link tree, which I'm going to work on this week. And then also I've done a lot of voiceovers, and they have analytics within TikTok that you can use. So I've typed in like mom life, toddler life, you know, blessed, just certain things, and it'll bring up a lot of analytics for you to use. Like, okay, this hashtag's trending. This hashtag was trending. This sound is trending. This overlay is trending. This voiceover is trending. Like this video. Hey, if you want to do try to go viral, hey, try to make a video that has blah, 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 blah. So essentially it's like almost like an AI in itself. And then what has been really trending, and let's see, I have how many followers, and it's been 1 week exactly. 85 followers so far.
Wow. Yeah,
So
that's
what
good.
you have to do, what's trending is engage from the bottom up. So a lot of people are just doing a lot of engagement. If you like someone's stuff, comment on it, and look to see who they're following. I like to do my profile view before I follow, because I don't want to do like a pointless follow, if that makes sense. Like I don't want to follow somebody who's not following back. So like I'll go to their profile and I'll see like 600 following, thousands of followers. And I'm like, they're not following back, so they're not engaging. They're not, you know, and so that's the thing. So then I've actually reached out to a few random, these are all random people. I know no one like personally, but like some people have reached out to me like, hey, what have you done? So there is that community there. And some people are, and I feel like Cherrington has provided me with the knowledge on, okay, when I get up there, and people are actually getting approved to do TikTok shop before 1,000 followers, like with like 300 followers.
You know how they're you know why?
Because their content is good.
Yeah, and their views are up. So
Yes.
they can definitely get accelerated through.
You just have to keep checking. And I've had numerous people reach out to me to do a collaboration. I chose one. It's a jewelry company. Check them out. Make sure they weren't like a spam.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's like pretty common. So we'll see. First collaboration. But yes, so I've done that. And then when that following gets a little bit further, I want to see, like, I want to go 1 more week. And then I want to see, like, okay, now I'm going to do my link tree. I want to introduce my link tree. Here we go, you know.
Now, I
would create that organic email list.
I'd like to challenge the link tree idea. I know a lot of people use it. The biggest drawback is like when you have too many options, people kind of miss the most important one. And the most important one I'm going to chime in is your email lead magnet. So nail that down. And I would, instead of doing a link tree of a bunch of links, I would just make, this is the one link, join me here, learn more about what I have to offer. And then and really you wouldn't word it that way, but however, but
no, that's a really good point. Thank you for that.
Make it your lead magnet, and then follow up sequence on email, the different stores or the different types of things that you're doing with your blog, with your YouTube channel, with your TikTok or whatever, Instagram, whatever. And then follow me here. And maybe the key is one call to action per focus. So like if you're doing a link from your profile to your lead magnet, the next call to action is join me here on my TikTok shop, or join me here on Instagram, and it'd be one at a time. You'll get much better
Yeah,
engagement on your email that way. And email is really tricky too, because I'm learning about
it
this.
is.
So I'm studying this right now too, because email is going to play into everything that we do with Cherrington products as well, with that lead
Right.
magnets. And so the
Right.
better we can get with a follow-up email sequence, which I'm kind of bad right now because I don't have a sequence going, but I'm building my back products. And so until I have the products, I can't really send the email. So it's sort of
Right.
like a catch-22 for me. But you guys,
Right.
if you can find affiliate products that can fill those back-end slots in your email
Right.
sequence, and then build off of some GPT tools I'm playing with to get an email
Yeah.
sequence that'll one at a time, 2, 3, 4. Here's something free. Here's something, I'm offering to pay. Nothing charged here or nothing
Hmm.
costly here. And this guy I'm following right now, he does like little PDF.
Sorry, I'm gonna keep cooking while you're talking.
He does these little PDF guides are like $5, $5.95 for this, or $10.99 for this. Something really low end every single
Yeah.
email. And so people don't feel totally sold because he has this good content. And then, hey, if you want to buy the full length, whatever, here it is for $9.99. People don't feel like they're spending a lot of money if they do decide to buy that. So I'm developing and I'm using AI to come up with ideas for really quick wins, simple little solutions, get the blueprint for this or the guide for that. And then I'll build a membership for those that want the full length course. So this is just a little piece of what could become a full length course that can be part of the monthly membership. So
So one thing that's like exactly how like that's the route I want to go. I wanted to introduce people to my website, my blog, um, which will have like essentially, do you know what an LTK is? Like to know?
I'm
It's like
okay.
a yeah,
I'm not familiar with an
it's
acronym, but yeah.
like to know site. So you can do that and link that to my blog. So essentially everything will be on my blog. So
Yes.
that's the point of the link tree. But I did want to link my doTERRA website because essentially you could do a lot more during social media platforms. You can't do it on your blog site.
Yeah, right. Because
That's the way that their compliance is. But also I wanted to note Instagram is really hard to get followers.
Yep.
yeah, I know.
It is really hard. You
I've been doing
can't
reels
like
and nothing.
you can't do it organically. I've learned.
You have to do it.
Although I am just a week in. And also, they're doing like a mass following, and also there's different stuff. So, like in TikTok, essentially, I thought, like, oh, I'll just transfer myself from TikTok to Instagram
They
Reels.
don't.
That is, they don't work the same.
No.
So, like,
Eli, who is your market? I know you're in the mommy,
mom
baby
parenting,
niche.
yes, yes, it's a
So
big market,
Yeah, you
what
can
and
narrow it
so
down.
what specific age group is that? Sorry, I don't have children and
yeah.
I'm well past my prime.
Yeah, so the big market right now that's in is age 30, around age 30. It's actually trending so high, it's
Wow.
like off the charts
I
On
would have thought it was a
TikTok.
little younger. Well, that's
on
cool.
TikTok for age 30 to 35. And I'm 35, so I'm like,
Okay.
yeah,
You're
I
perfect.
don't know if you entertain Pinterest. I'm going to tell
I
you,
do.
I Pinterest is amazing. It's so undervalued.
It
Here's
is.
the thing. I only use Pinterest. That's all I'm using. What I like about Pinterest, if you are doing social media,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to have too many followers to have all kinds of views on your product or and here's what works best is video shorts. Yes, we know that. It is amazing how much you can convert in sales on Pinterest. I watched a lady, she showed stats. Here's the reality. She started a Pinterest account in April. Within 5 months, she only had 67 followers on Pinterest. 67. She had 3 products. She sold over $11,000 in products from
Whoa.
Pinterest.
Believe
Whoa.
that.
She
I
showed
believe that.
her data from her Shopify where she was getting all her traffic sources. Pinterest,
Where,
90%.
Wow.
okay. Thank
She
you for telling
paid
me that.
0 for advertising. She was
Really?
paying for Instagram ads, and I think it was Google. She said, I lost money and they were the worst converting.
Yep, they are. Because you can't put your link into the actual item that you're in your reels. They don't let you
And
click.
you're
No.
right. So the other thing about Pinterest I love is that you actually can link your blog post very easily with a title, short description, link page. So this, just to give you an idea, Eli, because
Thank you
I
so
think that
much.
you are, because you're in more the female niche, Pinterest is amazing. More women on Pinterest.
Yep.
Yes. So thank you for saying that, Aimee.
Yeah,
I haven't gotten there yet, but I know. I know.
yeah, I'm
Sorry, I'm like waving
totally
a knife
sticking
around.
to Pinterest.
I'm like, oh.
Pinterest
The
has
other,
good video too.
the other
Video
thing I
reel.
like about it is that I'm connecting my blogs to Pinterest. So anytime I'm posting, it's automating to Pinterest.
You
Nice.
know what? Can we have a session about that? Maybe
Okay,
we can like dedicate sessions to like
Yeah,
different platforms. Would that be
that'd be good.
yeah, that's a good
Especially
idea.
like
a
if you've
thing?
developed any tools, like tools on that, because Pinterest is a weak area for me too, because
Yes.
I did a little bit, but I haven't. You can't focus on everything. I'm really
Yeah.
focusing on that email follow-up right
That's
now.
why I asked Eli, your market is like baby moms. Okay. Get on, my immediate reaction, get on Pinterest.
Like
So
TikTok is huge
I
for
am
young.
on Pinterest. I do like I've been on Pinterest for so long.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to clean my act up. Like there's so much stuff on there.
And
And
don't
I'm
be
like,
concerned about followers. It doesn't
okay.
matter
Yeah,
on
60
So
Pinterest.
I am actually
That's
curious
cool.
how she was getting promoting her products
Yep.
without paying for ads. Can you,
She was actually offering digital products.
okay.
She had a store on Etsy and she
Okay.
had a store on Shopify.
And our stuff can be right on the ConvertKit has that ability to do digital products very easily. So
Yeah,
you could
so
just link right to it.
she was just talking about it. She literally she shared a video that she says this is the first video I did. All she did, she took her phone. She started taking a video of the website right off her laptop.
Uh-huh.
My new site, blah blah blah. It was so generic and bare. I was embarrassed for her. She had over 5,000 views.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, user-generated content is
Yep.
like the way to go. And
Yeah.
Eli, you can do it because you got a good face for the camera.
She's good.
Thanks.
And you're in your avatar age range right now, so you're like,
Why don't you just
More.
start recording
you got
me
the
and you can
mom and the
use me?
kid. You can just
I'm cooking.
You
You
can't
can use
show
me
the
for
kid.
Pinterest.
Yeah, no, so I had to do a shout out to Pinterest because I am so pleasantly amazed and surprised. And I'm like, why didn't I focus on this platform before?
Yes.
Well,
Can we
honestly,
talk more about this?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
maybe not necessarily now, because I
Well,
know Christy has
Amy,
stuff.
maybe we could have you do one of the calls, or not the whole thing, but like you come in and like share how you're linking things
I
up.
could I could do a quick,
Or
like a 5-minute demo on some
yeah,
of the
Yeah.
stuff yeah, I'll do it for next week for sure.
idea. I have an
Yeah.
idea for our calls. Maybe like 20 minutes, someone can go and report back on the platform that they're doing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a great idea.
So we all kind of know
Yeah.
what's going on, what we want to do,
Cool.
if we want to dabble in it.
Yep. No, that's a great
I'm
idea.
gonna get there. I'm still figuring out a theme for a website.
But you're also doing like all your legal work that you have to do in Canada for getting.
Well, yeah, I actually was until I had a great conversation with a guy out of BC,
Oh,
and I probably will be incorporating in the US and
Oh.
Yeah.
bypassing Canada completely because of
Yeah.
everything that's going on.
Yeah.
And none of my money will ever come to Canada. I
Yeah,
will send it
that's
to
what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Oh,
I will
smart.
send it somewhere else. I'm not going to say where because other people will watch this.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to open a Forex exchange, a personal
Oh,
Forex,
okay.
and then I can send funds to different accounts for whatever country.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sorry, that is so sad.
Yeah. It
It's
is.
Like,
you don't have a
What is this
choice.
world coming to?
We're leaving Canada.
Yeah.
Born and raised here, and I'm
Yep.
like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I am done.
My-
with this
Honestly,
stuff.
we bought if we wouldn't have bought a shop to build this year, we would probably be selling this summer and leaving.
Yeah, a lot
But
of people are leaving.
oh, I know. I know 6 myself that are,
I think the data on it right now is in the past 2 years, 40,000 people have left Canada. And they're not immigrants, they're Canadians. Gone. It's
yeah.
expensive to leave.
Yep.
Is it?
Oh yeah, of course they're
No,
gonna
it
gouge you
depends on
for it.
it depends on what you do to leave. So
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
like the idea of having a US bank account. That's what I've done. And maybe we just don't tell anyone that we don't file taxes. We haven't left, or you file the minimum.
you should
Anyway,
really talk to the gentleman I spoke with. I can give you his info after.
You want to do a chat, so that will not be on the call.
Yeah.
Those kinds of details. You want to chat over to to Aimie right now and just give whatever info you want to. Because on the recording, I'm not putting any of the chats, so you'll be fine.
It's
Okay.
all good. That's why I was saying I can
Yeah,
talk to
you
her
guys
later.
can.
Even are you on Discord, Amy?
yes. Yeah,
Okay.
you can find me on Discord.
Okay, yeah, we can set up a call and I'll
That
tell you
works.
all about what I'm doing.
That's a good idea.
So yeah, I'm gonna go back on mute. The
Sounds
little one's
good.
gonna pop in here really
Eli,
quick.
before you go on mute, you
Yes.
should actually a couple of these calls where you're building this out
Yeah.
and cooking supper.
Yeah,
should
you
take
could be
snippets,
recording
use
yourself.
take Gifter, and you should literally, these are perfect for your what your
Totally.
blog.
Alyssa, I
Use your cell
agree.
phone.
That's yeah,
Like record myself?
like a
Well,
day in a life. Yeah, just
even
what you're
take a
doing.
portion of this call when we're discussing your business and what you're doing.
But
Thank
Because-
you.
I
That's a
told
really good
someone-
idea.
But I'm doing this,
Yeah.
right?
Well, you
I'll
know-
just warn you guys when I turn on the camera, I'll be like, you're on camera.
No, just
You
so
don't
you
even
know,
have
I post these calls publicly.
Yeah.
They're on
Oh,
YouTube.
you do?
Because remember, Adam doesn't pay me anymore to coach, which means he doesn't get the recordings I do. So I put them up on my site and I've been posting them on YouTube.
I
So
saw them on your site.
you guys are welcome to download and use them for whatever you guys want
Waving to your audience.
We want to get
There
more
you go.
action around here. And then I'm working
I'm
on
not joking. The moms love things like this.
And
Yeah.
They
the one
do.
call, your daughter was hanging out with you the whole time. Like
Yeah.
you could take, like you probably have half a
I
dozen
think I just put
snippets.
cameras around my house.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, there's a
That's-
tool. There's a tool that I just found. I have to try it out, but it says that it takes your really long clips. You can mesh whatever, just dump them all in, and the AI creates a generated video for you.
Nice.
Yeah, like a 15
Nice.
second.
Oh, I
Highlight.
love it. Wow.
Yeah.
All these tools
Yeah.
you guys are learning about, you should have we should have this collaboration where, okay, I can't do
Ooh.
this big go, and then you start the call with that, and then someone
Yeah.
well, I love it. I love what we're able to do.
You said you're dumping, you said you're running the AI, right, companion. So
Yes.
it like gives you the notes.
Yep. And you'll see my site. So you can see the order of the calls when things were
Okay.
discussed. It doesn't tell time codes, but it breaks down the order. So if you go to my site, Creative Profits Academy, under the recent posts, there's links to the different segments, and one is coaching calls.
Okay, great. So maybe we should maybe you should on your site have like a resources, kind of like how.
Yeah, I have a lot of that, and I'm building out more
Oh,
resources
great.
like the t-shirt creator. I got 25% discount now, an affiliate link for the getting your own graphics that can be used on print on demand, because a lot of graphics with Canva, or in particularly Canva fonts, cannot be put on t-shirts because they're possibly not licensed for that. They could be go on social media, no problem, but you can't put them on print on demand. You can get banned over something like that. So my Criddle is anytime I find a good affiliate tool, I put it under the resources tab, and then I have a 25% discount. So you guys, if you want to do that, you can sign up for that. But each of us have different things we're exploring and studying. And even I know Meg's had some health issues lately. We were talking a little before the call. She could even go into that area now that she's researching that. And it fits really nicely with Adam's Clickbank products on health and some of the new affiliate networks that Adam is bringing into Cherrington right now will deal specifically with the health angle and supplements. With Adam's traffic source being a lot more lenient on the kinds of health products we can share and market. My idea is to take a lead magnet in one of those areas, a specific health issue, like Adam was showing on his call, the Java burn one for weight loss and how that, is like he's building a bridge page on that and running traffic to it and showing his conversions each week. And so it's his case study right now. What I have an idea of doing is if anyone wants to take, let's say, one of those products that's really converting well in ClickBank and then string on a series of email follow-ups and tie those in with affiliate products. You don't have to own the product yourself. Just each email sequence can go along behind that. And it's not going to cost extra if you do like your first ConvertKit account allows you to have one sequence for free. So you don't up to 1,000 subscribers. So you can test this without putting a lot of money out. And so that's what I want to throw out as an option for people.
I did go in and register for the free one to
Yes.
start with. I did it under your link.
Oh,
So I'm
yes.
assuming when I pay down the road, then you should get.
Hopefully. That'd be
yes.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And then when you get your blog site, you could do resources as well, like, whatever you want to do. But the idea of a series of products that can run behind the initial conversion or potential conversion, the bridge page, the better chance of monetizing. I just saw a guy
That's a good point. You're referring more to like products that are somewhat related,
yes.
like others bought this, that sort of, that's a good idea. Very good idea.
So what I'm exploring right now for my own platform, and it's requiring more time for me to set up because I'm in the make money online niche. A lot of the ClickBank products that are make money online are junk. They just are. I've done some research on YouTube and I found one that it has mixed reviews, but the only reviews are that it costs money and some of these people have learned how to do this naturally on their own organically, this particular way of making money. But the research I've done is it is a legitimate way of making money. And if a person starts on this platform to get a quick fix job that they can earn money at night, like for a couple hours or whatever, it can be a good way to get them started when they don't have anything going, no product, no nothing, and they need money like yesterday. So I figured that's a great front end product. And yes, it does charge. It'll give me commissions and the platform does charge. But for people to start with, I created, and I've showed this on some of my calls, but Aimie, you have missed a lot of them. So what I'm going to do is share my screen and then I'm going to show you how I built this out so you could see what I have in mind. So let me just click this link. And and I'm going to change the headline. I have a lot of things I want to change. This is what I got straight out of free ad copy, but I've been working on my back end products. So free ad copy kind of framed this toward a single 27-year-old former waitress who lost her job during COVID. What I'm going to do is I'm going to frame it toward a single mom who just went through divorce because that's basically my story, right? And now I find cost of living 3 times what it was when I was single. So, I have to boost my income. And so what I did is I had the bridge page as it came out of free ad copy. I'm going to modify it to a more specifically oriented avatar because I'm geared towards parents, busy parents, single moms, and stay-at-home moms. And so what I did is I created this little opt-in PDF. And what it does, this lead magnet takes you through how to test these jobs to know if the company you're working with is a scam or not. Because
That's a good one. That's good, Christy.
Yeah, so I'm going to call this my divergent marketing angle. It's a divergent angle.
No, it's actually a pretty important topic.
Well, how many people look at all these make money online and think scam because how many programs are out there that don't
Do
produce
you,
much
do you want a
for the
testimonial? I could give you one. I was scammed over $65,000 last December from it. I thought it was a contract for work.
wow. See, Amy, that would be a good one.
Oh, I'd be happy to share it because it was mortifying. It happened within 3 days and I just went, oh
If
my
you really
God.
want to have a good laugh, the city of Saskatoon was scammed out of $4.4 million
Wow.
Oh
for a
yeah.
contract payment. It was
Yeah.
literally a foreigner who
But Christy,
phoned.
that's a hell of that's needed for many people.
Well,
Yep.
think about, the person who sees my ad banner about this single mom who's making X amount per month. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go back to YouTube and find some real stories. I know I can't use their faces and all that, but I'm going to I like to deal with truth as much as possible. So I'm going to try to start with a story of somebody who is making it, but then all of a sudden, how do you test these jobs? And so that's where, like, I have the frame story here that AI created. And it
Yeah.
might be that I'll end up using AI just to kind of take based on a real story, just so I don't run into problems with the people themselves.
Yeah.
But the idea is I want to be as clear as I can about, the fact is a lot of people can get scammed. So if you get
Yeah.
my free opt-in, I actually walk through and I did a bunch of research online to find out the signs of a scam and how you can vet these companies. And then the goal here is this is a front end to now my make money online system of digital asset creation. And
Oh,
so it's
good.
going to upsell into the individual products on my email sequences, and then also my membership course where people can get in and get more in-depth training on each of the different assets of income generation. And then I also plan to have the high ticket coaching program for people starting their website and getting them set up on a budget. So that's the whole goal. Build this thing.
Okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
So this is not completed. You're still in draft, right? Obviously, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to redo the story just a little bit to frame it towards my audience. I also want to have as a sequence series of testimonies as legitimate. Some of them might be video embeds of these people telling their stories too, because it's pretty awesome to watch them. I know they sell their products, but hey, if
No,
you
Christy, I wanted to say, now I understand how this is all flowing for sure, for sure.
with ClickBank, yeah. So, it's a ClickBank offer that I found that I feel fairly confident about. This is the video that people will click into to watch it. But before they go to the offer, my goal is I call it divergent marketing angle because what I'm doing is I'm dealing with objections first. I'm dealing with the doubts. I'm dealing with what they don't think or what they might think I might be pitching as positive, but yet I start with a negative, almost in a way to kind of spin it towards okay, now here's how I vet this platform and here's how I vet the jobs on the platform. Because I can't put my name on every single job that might be on this platform, but I
Yeah,
can put my name on the tools that I am giving you to test these jobs and how to tell if the company is legitimate.
yeah,
And so that's how I'm getting around the whole ClickBank thing because it is kind of a organic
yeah.
organism.
Okay, that makes sense. I like what you're doing with the strategy. When you get to sort of feeling confident, that you're done this, maybe you should in one of these calls, let us we'll give a looky-loo and give you feedback. Because here, one thing I've noticed right away that would actually change. See at your opt-in there,
Okay. Yeah.
you just that those two sentences immediately caught my attention.
Yep.
Don't get scammed, avoid fake jobs.
Yep.
Move that type, take that, copy that, put it at the very top, right in like sort of the where the meta description might be, right at the top.
Right up here.
No, go up further. When they land on it, go all the way up to the top.
Oh
That's
yeah, good. Like up here.
yeah.
Headline. I'm changing the headline. I'm gonna target it strictly to my either stay-at-home mom, whoever it is I feature, a stay-at-home mom or work from home mom or whatever. It'll be mom oriented. And
I'd
awesome.
actually put those two sentences right at the very top of that paragraph.
Good idea. Yeah, I like it. It ties it together better.
I'm going
And
to tell you,
Christy,
that caught my attention. That's why I was like, what is this?
And another thing I'm going to do to tie this all together, I have noticed my videos where I'm talking about whatever product I'm selling, which currently Green Living Off Grid is really where I've done my own sales organically. I have a 40% opt-in to my list. And if you notice on the calls with Adam, he's just taking straight headlines that AI gives him, throws them in, throws a bridge page, And if
Yeah.
you notice the one gal that was doing that, she didn't like the way it was tying together and she had a 10% opt-in. Well, she didn't even have an opt-in. 10%
often,
to a
yep,
lead page, okay?
yeah,
I'm getting 40% organically because I tie my avatar tightly to
Yeah.
my ad banners. And with Adam's stuff, he's letting AI do it. I noticed something with a gal with 10% opt-in also. She was very broad. It gave her men and women as
mhm,
opposed to a specific person, let's say a 37-year-old, or in my case, this one gave me 27-year-old woman, but I'm going to move it a little older because I'm going for the parent. So the
Yeah.
30-year-old range, I think, is really good. Somebody going through divorce, a little bit on the higher end of 30. And
Yeah, I definitely, I maybe, but that's what caught my attention was those that don't get scammed and avoid fake jobs.
yep, yep.
That is so huge online. Put it right at the top.
I love it. Good idea. And here's the thing. Now my app banner is going to be I can play to the positive, finding a job that can supplement your income. But then
Mhm.
I want to spin it just a little bit. Do you remember the one headline that was performing the best of Adam's first test, first round headline that he did on his call on Thursday? He showed it. Do you remember that top headline? Do you remember that what it said? Because I'm like,
I
figuring
haven't
out.
seen the video.
He,
I made a note to look at the last week's art. I'll look in the
okay,
archive.
when you watch his call, notice how he threw that headline out. And I said, dude, I would totally run with that headline because it was a headline that says the one ingredient in your hot coffee that could cause you to gain weight or lose weight, or I forget how it was, but it was something the opposite of what his bridge page was saying, which was positive toward his offer. His bridge page.
Okay, yeah, I
And
get
the
it.
one that performed the best for clicks, of course, not landing page views, was the one ingredient in the coffee that could cause you to gain weight. And I'm thinking, dude, what if with that very same offer, using my divergent angle technique, a person did an opt-in page to a guide that specifically talks about that toxic ingredient that's in a lot of coffees. And all I have to do is research online because I'm sure there's plenty of coffees. We can find that toxic ingredient that might be making people fat or something like I wouldn't use the word fat, but
full creamer.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's
could
what
be
it is.
whatever it is, and then talk about how this product,
The
the ingredient,
Starbucks creamer.
Right?
the one ingredient that
14 tablespoons of sugar.
the one ingredient, now the positive side, the one ingredient, how this one ingredient in this supplement added to your coffee undoes all the negative effects of this other ingredient. Now, obviously, we have to ensure we can tie the two together for accuracy. But I'm
Yeah.
thinking, dude, you could totally run a headline that's the opposite of what people think because it's a pro coffee thing, and this is a negative coffee headline. Same
Well,
thing, pro jobs online and a negative job headline. People are going to be like, yeah, and it's going to increase the opt-in rate to my email system and get them to download my PDF. And when they get my PDF, it automatically converts them into my email sequence for my other offers that I'm going to run on the back end. But
you could even,
You could
Christy, with
tell.
that, you could do a tech on an email subject. You could blast out, don't get scammed, avoid fake jobs. Do this instead. That's your subject line.
yep,
Send.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's great. I'll probably do. That's a good
I
one.
would open it.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, so you see how I'm gonna the other thing I noticed that gal's her page where she said men and women who whatever, da da da, and it was AI generated. What if she picked that one person, whether it's a single person in a waitress? I'd say pick yourself, wherever, whatever
Yeah.
stage of life you are in, because you're your best avatar. You know what the doubts are in your
Yep.
mind when you read something like that. So whatever age range, I would make your avatar just like that. If you
Yeah.
can, show up on camera and start with this headline, or the first part of your text on camera would be many people think da da da, but that's not necessarily true. Here's why, my experience. And then you go into your story. So, but it's that format of many people think such and such, but that's not necessarily true. Most experience such and such. So that it would be my intro video into this with that. And AI can help me generate all that out. But since I'm my own avatar for my own system that I'm building because of my own story, having gone through divorce, and I'm going to cater towards that single mom or that stay-at-home mom or whoever might be needing to replace their 9 to 5 income, that is going to be my video. It's going to fit who I am, and my avatar is going to fit right in here. I might even make it about my story. Who knows if I decide to try these jobs. Now, to be quite honest with you, I have so much on my plate. I don't think I have time to do this job because it's, like $25 an hour they start with and they can go up from there. And I just don't have time to do it. But I can find the stories of the people who have done that with these kinds of jobs, highlight those stories, maybe
Yeah.
just show little segments of their videos online, like this person, like that person, like this person.
Well, Christy, why don't you send it to me and I'll see if I can get one of the jobs and then I'll do a review.
Yeah, no, that would be good. And then you
Yeah,
can
because
find
I'm
out
not
if it's
working
scammed or
right
not.
now. I'm not working right now, so
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
You
Yeah.
could send it to me, Christy, and I'll give you my testimonial to what happened to me when it was a fake contract.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, because I go into a lot of the things for vetting out these jobs, certain things to look for.
Do you
Um,
know how many
Meg, are
people
you
have been
having trouble there?
scammed?
I see you trying to show your phone.
Do you know
You
how
have no
many
sound. You're
people?
muted, Meg. You have no sound?
No, this is what I was like trying to figure out if this is good, but I have to figure out how to put my background again, blur my background, adjust
oh
my
no.
background.
You don't want to be out in space?
I don't want to be in space no more so that I can
Okay.
show you.
How
Okay.
was it? Welcome back to the land of no good.
Everyday bliss.
What's
Everyday
happening
bliss.
there on your phone?
Everyday
This,
bliss.
yes. Have you heard about that? Mind Valley?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it legit or is it like Evo?
I
No.
personally, I don't like the new agey emphasis. It's to me, I see a lot of they're playing with your mind for one in a ways that I'm not sure that I would be comfortable because I think it's opening up yourself up to possible
Okay,
demon.
so I'm not sure which one you're referring to, but for me, there's the Mind Valley where they interview all the entrepreneurs and they have all the courses and they
Yeah.
listen to all the speakers and it's like everybody from Tony Robbins to like everybody who's
Yeah.
They might be okay.
CEOs.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm familiar with.
There was one that was
I
it was
got
a similar name. It could
I
it
gotta
could
run. Sorry to interrupt. I gotta run. I got a couple minutes. I I'm going back to this scammy scam. Here,
Oh,
I just got something.
oh,
This
you found it?
no, this just happened like 5 seconds ago. Here's WhatsApp is a breeding pool for scammers.
yes, it
So
is.
Oh my God.
I
Yeah.
just got this message. Hi, Miss Amy. Hope you're doing good. I tried to reach you.
Foreigner, as soon as they say miss, it's
Yeah.
foreigner.
She says, I tried to reach you regarding an issue with your amount in the company named Travelport. Didn't get a response from you. Could you please let me know if we can proceed with it to resolve, or should I stop bothering you? This
Yeah.
I
isn't
delete.
my company.
Oh,
This
I
is
know.
a prime example. This
An email.
happens all the time.
Yep. And some of these job platforms, the scammers can get in under names we recognize, unfortunately. And so it's one of
Yeah.
those things where it's tough to test, but there are several different ways you can look, especially if it's running under a regular business name, you got to check the URLs.
I agree with you. I was so fooled. They stole a company's identity out of
Oh,
France, a travel e-commerce site. Very, very reputable. I did my due diligence. I'm like, oh my God, they're legit. They're huge. They cloned their site
Yep.
They said these people said that they were salespeople in all different offices. I'm not calling France to verify this. It
Yep.
showed on the website. They stole personal identities as well. So they look like a corporate team and then a younger team that I was training through. It was all fake.
Wow.
And I'm going to tell you, they have probably scammed millions of dollars from people. I actually sent a very long email. The company's called Voyage Primaire, something like
Oh yeah,
that.
I've heard of them. Yeah.
I sent it to their head office. It took 2 weeks to respond. It was over Christmas. It happened right at Christmas time. And I'm fucking, excuse me, I'm stressed, right? I've
Yeah.
just lost in 3 days, gone. And
Oh,
they
sorry.
responded. I gave them snapshots, everything, just all the fine, everything.
And they probably got your identity too from all that because you had to apply. Now, one of the things
They found me on LinkedIn.
Mhm.
Then they found me in a Facebook business group.
Wow. Yep.
Then I end up on a WhatsApp. I thought I was in training.
Yes, exactly. And did you have to pay for the training and you had to give
No.
okay. But did you have to
And
give
so it happened so quickly.
Yeah.
And I was like,
And that's why I am not a fan of LinkedIn,
yeah,
because LinkedIn
LinkedIn
is
has gotten
literally
really
about
bad.
put exactly who you are, what you do on all of your personal information
Yeah.
right there. I
Yeah.
have never done LinkedIn for that very
Yeah.
reason. I'm like,
It's incredible the amount of people that are just
it's
evil.
like Facebook where it's the like, answer these 20 questions about yourself. Have you been here? Have you been there? I'm like, you idiots, they're figuring out your passwords, you moron.
Yeah, it's a horrible feeling.
Yeah.
And
Guess I
I
should close it.
Well, and
yeah,
sadly, my own brokerage account,
$65,000
my
gone out of my business account. Gone.
and my
All
own
right.
brokerage account
I'm
got
just
compromised.
triggered. I'm triggered.
Yeah, it got compromised, and it's well, if it shares you up at all, Amy, with everything I spent for learning online, I'm up to $70,000. Well, actually, I'm more than that now with all the new training. But the new
Oh,
training
that's
is
like
really spot on.
105,000 to us, Christy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. It's like, oh,
So maybe I beat you. No, but actually, it's more than that because I put more in this year. But the stuff I'm in right now is just classic, really good
Alyssa, it
training.
was you
So
that reminded me, and thank you for this. And then I got to run. I just wanted to say, Alyssa, you just reminded me. It was a call we were on. I griped about how much it's costing in Canadian currency. And then you chimed in and said, yeah, I'd something like, yeah, it's painful, but remember, we get paid in US dollars. And I went, right.
well, I think,
Right.
you push through it. The one good thing about Cherrington is at least it's a legitimate platform. It's a legitimate traffic sources. They're not selling a bunch of scammy stuff on the back. Not like the drop shipping store program I bought into. That was a disaster. That's 20,000 out the door. I couldn't get back either. So, and that just happened like a couple years ago when I was trying to start Sheridan.
May I ask
So,
who the company was?
I blocked it out of my head. I wasn't allowed to like say the name, and they don't want anything publicly put on the that I had to
You,
sign a
you,
commitment to just get my ad spend back,
you
which
have to
is
sign an
5,000.
NDA?
No, it was a signed a commitment to not say anything negative that could hurt their company reputation. So I couldn't put any reviews in. I couldn't mention them by name. So I mean, I could look it up, but I purposely
Look,
put it out of my mind.
if you're feeling triggered, don't do it. Don't do it, sister. Don't do it. But
Well, it's
if
just
you
easy.
want,
What it did is it drove me to build the training on how to build your own site and how to do drop shipping. Now that I learned how, I did learn a few things
well,
from them. Like the,
I'm asking you who the company was because I probably know them. Um,
Ecom family?
I've probably
wasn't
been
them.
screwed
Yeah.
over by the same company, and that happened a few years back.
Well,
E-commerce
maybe,
Mine
drop.
was
yeah,
Who?
maybe
Amy? Who?
in a private
I
message
have to
group,
remember
because I
them.
won't put it
They
publicly.
used Overly for the shipping software, but it was a company that represented this coaching academy, and you're buying, it was a large investment. You got their software and they claim this,
Yeah.
it's probably the same company, and I'll remember who it was and I'll let you know.
Well, you could do it, yeah, off the call, just because again, I did have to sign this thing where I wouldn't say anything publicly. But my thought after that experience is to teach on how to avoid things like getting scammed and or to how to actually do it yourself so you're not stuck paying these guys for
Yeah, good
money.
call. I like where you're going with that. Yes. Some of these big coaching mentorship programs, I'm not saying nothing,
Well, and
but
not all of
Christy,
them. There's a lot of costly programs that maybe they're not all bad, but when they started, maybe it was that successful for the beta group. But now all the products are
I agree.
saturated or whatever. And I think we had a little bit of that with Cherrington originally with the Media Mavens when everybody did them. Adam's really trying to improve things. I love the direction he's going with like 8 new affiliate programs. That's
Yeah.
going to open up a whole slew of new products, teaching us how to use AI to get our own bridge pages so we're not copying each other. Like he's doing a lot of the things that for a while has been a problem because of live intent, to be quite honest. So now that he's away from that, I think it's a good direction. And I think we
Okay,
will have a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
run.
success.
Christy, sorry to interrupt. I gotta run. Good
Yeah.
seeing you, ladies. On that note, Christy, from what you just said in the last 20 seconds about what Adam's doing, I'm gonna pay attention and watch a couple of more of those archives
Yes.
because you know where I'm at with, I'm on the fence and
Yep.
I'm on one side regret, resent, and the other side going, well, nothing I can do about it. So I may as well dive in. But what you just said, I'm like, okay, okay, I need to be a little more optimistic.
Yeah.
My
Well,
money's in there and I'm not getting it out. That's the
Right.
reality.
Yep.
he also renewed everybody's memberships
Yes.
without any cost, which is huge. I
Yeah.
don't know very many companies that would do that.
No,
Like if
that's
you bought a
true.
3 or
But
a
it was a
6 or
drastic change. It was a complete three or maybe a 180, not a 360. So,
it is a
Huh.
180. Everything is brand new. Like,
yeah,
and the stuff that you see coming out, yeah, if you can't make money in there, it's because exactly what Christy pointed out, that one girl where I'm like, she didn't research avatar, she
Yep.
didn't research marketing, she went to AI, grabbed a few things and plunked it. And I was like watching exactly like you
yeah,
said, Christy, and I was like, but wait a second, just doing that, she got clicks. I was like
Yep.
looking at her click numbers. I was like, holy, you
But
got people still to look. It
yeah,
led to nothing,
it
but
was
I was like,
10%, but she still got 10%.
that's right.
I
So I'm
actually
like, if you
scribbled
put the
down my
effort in, there's
avatar as you guys were talking about it.
I want to throw, before you go, Amy, this is the line that came to my mind after all of that with the page and everything as I've been thinking about this week. The story that you draft and your landing page, you want it to be so tied into a very specific market because when you
Yeah,
speak to everybody, nobody hears you. Just go out in the shopping center and start calling out. Unless you
Mhm.
call somebody's name, they don't respond in the shopping store. Same
yeah,
thing in our marketing, and AI is oversaturating everything anyway.
Yeah.
absolutely.
So the more specific, the 27-year-old, the 37-year-old, the 30, 42-year-old, whatever your avatar is, and I suggest it be you because you can also show on video if you're
I'm
going
gonna
to build
I'm
it.
Yeah,
gonna use I'm gonna use 2 words on mine. Hey ladies.
Yeah.
yeah,
But I would
Because
be
it's a line in my era
okay.
that
yeah.
we because
You
of
know.
Beyonce's stupid song. Hey
Yeah.
ladies, all the single ladies.
That was my favorite song.
Right? And
Well,
as
there
soon as
you
you
go.
hear "Hey ladies," you either
I
think
love
Pink
that
Floyd
song.
or
Every time I hear
Beyonce.
it, I dance every
Yeah,
time.
And
right?
then one more thing, when you put your story together, if your avatar cannot see themselves in your story, they're not listening.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
you're losing them. You're
I'm
yeah,
disconnected.
going to tell you what my avatar is. My avatar is me, my storytelling.
Yep.
I and so I literally when I was hearing you guys, I'm talking to it. I'm probably going to attract more women. I will just say that,
me too.
ladies.
Well,
But I know men too because of the category I'm in. But my
Adam,
focus is I was actually saying baby boomer all the time. And I'm like, yeah, that's my dad, and he's stubborn. I don't think that's going to be it's not going to be the direct. So I'm doing the 50 plus. I'm 53, but I'm, the only thing I'm focused on is health, wellness, fitness related to the 50 plus community that are frustrated about aging.
Yeah. And then I focus in,
Supplementation, baby.
see, and then what I would
Physical
do
exercise.
for each of your bridge pages, I would tie into one aspect of that
Yeah.
aging. So if you
Yeah.
get very targeted, the person that's got neuropathy
Skin?
or the skin, oh yeah, the wrinkles. I'm getting them too, because I'm getting closer to 50. Not there yet, but getting closer.
Here.
Well, I don't know if I'm not there
Wait
yet.
for it. Once you hit 50, it's amazing. When I hit, I'll be 54 in June. When I hit 50, I kid you not, the next day, there was something wrong with me.
Hey, that's a good headline right there. And now you're
I love that.
see, so that's what I say. Tie in very specific and then bring them into your story by the pain points.
Yeah.
My
So I can
method
talk
is
about all kinds of crap that
three
happens
things.
at 50.
PRO, person, problem, pain first. Then R is a result. You don't go through the process, but the result when I did such and such without going into details. You keep that intrigue so that they get your lead magnet and they go right to your landing page. And then the offer, of course, is the landing page that you're trying to drive people to. But if you think simple, become a pro in marketing. And this is my own thing, guys. Nobody made this up for me. I made it up. It's the PRO method. And so that's my strategy. Use divergent marketing, addressing with your lead magnet the pain points and the question, the doubts in people's minds. What would drive them to your page with kind of an opposite angle approach? And I was going to show you stock market, but I know you got to go. I have a screenshot. I have a stock market chart up, and I did stock market stuff for 10 years. Learned a lot about divergent indicators. That's how I come up with my
Oh
method.
my God, we have so
Divergent
much
marketing.
in common. I used to, well, I still have a lot of stocks, but they tanked, thank you, COVID, and everybody's, social isolation. I used to do Forex trading
Yeah.
as I shifted back into stocks. So I get your vibe. I get your vibe.
Oh, but it looks like it's going to make me log in again. I wanted to show you though, because I was going to play with what I used to look at. Well, if you've done stocks, let me go back to
Yeah,
the.
I'm a data geek.
So if you've done stocks and you understand the value of a divergent indicator when you've been in a trend and it's reversing and you got the double bottom or the double top and you're looking for the head and shoulder pattern or the cup and handle, you know all those terms if you've studied it. So if you look at that switch, you got the cup and handle, this is it's a switch. What
Yep.
we're trying to do is play into the switch, the divergent indicator that indicates we got a possible new angle at something. See if we can find the gaps in the marketing, the gaps and that's another key to a successful store is catering your products to what's not being sold or the gap in the market that's not being sold. So anyway, I
Yeah.
studied this stuff.
No, I get what you're
Yeah.
saying, but this has been good because you guys helped me with my avatar and now I'm really clear and going, okay. And I'm a little bit enlightened with Cherrington and not being so bitter about all these massive changes and then
Yeah,
yeah.
it's actually all good stuff. I'm really pleased with the direction Adam's going, and I'm excited to be.
I had to write down what I said, and you said you should make a video of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I bring that up because ladies, you're either trying to rebuild. I've been rebuilding my business for, it feels like forever, but we're all in a position that we're trying to make something happen. You know what your story is. It doesn't matter why you're doing this business stuff. I just had this epiphany. Shit, I'm just going to be me and talk about health, all the stuff that I consume myself and do.
Yes.
That's what I'm selling. I got red light therapy gadgets all over my condo. I swear to God, not just Skin Spectra. But and I thought, shit, just talk about what you do in life. And if you can attach a product to it, take it.
Keep in mind that the more AI takes over things, the more fake it's going to speak to. Everyone's going to feel fake when they come to these AI ads. And what they're going to be looking for is somebody who's authentic and real.
Authenticity.
So when we show up on camera
Well, that's what
telling
this
our
is for.
story, yeah, it's going to build a trust. And when we're authentic about our problems, our struggles, it builds trust in your audience, or your
Yeah,
audience builds trust in you because you're
yeah,
willing to share about your struggles and your pain. And they'll think, gee, if that person went from where they were to where they are now, and they're able to make it through, then I can have hope in my struggles as well. So you
yeah,
start with the pain points, and then you bring them down through your
yeah,
story, and where they could feel like they're going through it with you. And
yeah.
I think
I think a
yeah,
business wrapped around what you know, I think it's not a passion project if you're working it as we are. So,
yeah,
right?
it can still be your passion because you're passionate to see
Because
solutions
remember
to.
the goal it yes money, but my goal, it's freedom.
Mhm.
It's freedom.
CreativeLifeFreedom.com, my website.
And I'll tell you, right, Alisa, write down Mexico and write down when you're going to get there, okay? Just do it.
Already have. Already
I
have.
have Belize.
Oh yeah.
My I'm looking at going. I
Yeah.
am so I've got two goals.
Yeah.
I will be, one goal was travel to Belize this year in probably November. It's
Mhm.
not a peak time. I got to watch my dollars. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And by the time I turn 55, I would like to have a property, whether
So
I,
Amy, go to Facebook. I'm on 4 different Belize pages because
yeah,
I've been
okay.
looking at about 6 different places, researching where to go. And
I love it. All, everything about it. It's extremely safe, and that's
yeah,
important for a single woman. Okay.
yes,
Yep.
yeah. They're all
Absolutely.
of them
Just
have their
saying.
pros and cons
And
for
I like
safety.
to be single. I like my independence.
Like all of them
I'm
have
at that
pros and
point
cons,
too.
but honestly, if you go there, there's people that post properties and stuff, and
Yeah, I've
like
met,
my number one is Costa Rica, but the cost of living has gone through the roof there.
yeah.
Like it's
Belize is
quadrupled.
getting there. It's popping up. But let me tell you, when you can buy something for like 150 US, where
Yeah.
here it's going to cost you $1 million, or
Ugh.
probably about over 500,000 for about 400 square feet here.
Yeah,
Oh
You
geez.
won't even be able to buy something for under 500,000.
yeah.
Yeah.
With all
It's
the foreigners
scary.
coming in and yeah, everything. Yep.
Well, with all the where things were going, with all the illegals coming in, taking over everything, getting government sponsorship, and all the rest of us have to pay it on taxes. If it wasn't
So
for Trump, we were
I
in big
made it,
trouble.
I just gonna say, and then I definitely am. Make a point, right? Get real. Like, I'm serious, Alyssa. You're gonna do it. I know you're gonna do it. But I
Yeah.
literally look at this every morning.
The
Yep.
other
Why
one,
am I doing this?
Gotta
the
know
Stop
other
your
one,
why.
this.
the other one I'm checking out is Ecuador. We're actually going to go there for my 50th birthday for 2 weeks.
Cool. All
Um,
right. Welcome to the 50 Club, sister.
uh,
I'm
and
on your heels.
the reason I'm looking at that one is because they have the best medical care for the least amount of dollars out of all of them.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Belize.
you want to talk about a place? The you can get like a 1,800 square foot condo with a swimming pool, everything, 250,000 US oceanfront. Right?
Okay,
Wow. That's
I'll check out
incredible.
Ecuador, but Belize, it appeals to me. And just so
Yeah.
you know, Alyssa, insider information, I know a realtor that's in Belize, and she dropped this little nugget. They're planning to build a hospital there,
Hmm.
right near the airport,
Yep.
which is great because they got
Yep.
nothing.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, that is.
That was my one thing that scared. That's number one thing I've been looking at is
Yeah.
healthcare in all of them, and
Yeah,
like
me too.
Mexico has
I have health issues, so I do have to have medical.
well, and Mexico has 2 tiers, right? Like they have the free system and then they have the paid. But their paid system, if you don't go to the tourist doctors, is still very reasonable.
Oh
Very
yeah.
reasonable. Like
That's a lot of Canadians go
you
to
can go have
Mexico to get
major
all
heart
their work
surgery,
done.
the works, you name it. A nurse stay with you in your home after, and it's like 30 grand US. But I'm talking like a quadruple bypass. Like it's
uh,
like which would be what in the US? Three,
Well,
four
for
hundred
me,
thousand?
yeah, I don't know how it converts on your side, but I know that when I got run over by a horse and broke my nose and
Yeah.
rib and everything. I went to the ER and that bill was $30,000 just
Yeah.
for a few hours at the ER. I didn't even
Yeah.
spend the night.
Did
So
you have to pay that?
Yeah.
thankfully our insurance paid most of it, but I still had to come up with our, copay, which was, yeah.
Holy
No,
shit. Well, we pay for it through our taxes.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not free.
That was
It
just
Get
the
taxed.
ER. And I still had surgery on top of it. And oh my goodness. Thankfully, I was under my husband's insurance, which was really good. I can't buy that out of pocket here.
no.
But his airline's insurance was really good at the time. And it happened right during COVID too. So I had 2 weeks I couldn't get into the hospital, had to get tested for COVID with a
Oh,
broken
that's
nose.
terrible.
It was awful, but
Yeah.
I learned one thing. You can't trust a horse. I mean, they spooked and they thought that I was a predator. Literally, this horse went beeline for me. I tried to jump out of the way. She caught my shoe. I was falling under her hoofs. It was literally a miracle of God that I didn't get more injured. I got trampled. The knee that broke my nose and broke my rib threw me out of the way so that she did not actually step on me. And so it saved my life. That's one of my God saving my life stories, and I have more than that because I've had the horse
And
incident.
you're here, but oh,
I've got a bunch of
$30,000.
horse ones too, Christy.
Yeah, I think God's
That's an
angels did a lot of
expensive
overtime
day.
work, and this
Yeah.
was the year before my divorce.
Yeah.
So, like I said, God saved my life, and
Yeah, you've had some real trauma.
yeah, physical trauma even. Yeah,
Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you, I didn't really know about trauma until thankfully, and I knew this, but my therapist really brought that to my attention, PTSD.
yeah.
And I was like, what? And I guess I would say I may have been ignorant towards what does trauma mean? I'm thinking textbook stuff. And, I realized there's a lot of people that have all kinds of stuff. And where was I going with this?
You overcame the trauma, but you didn't know about it. What you
I
were,
didn't know about it, but what you went through just pre-COVID.
yeah.
So that's interesting because I believe that that's how I got sick. I got disease with ulcerative colitis.
Hmm.
I moved across the country to be with my dad. My mom had passed 3 months before, and I got there. Within a year, it's COVID. I'm still with my dad, and he's now trying to transition of being a widow of
Yeah.
over 45 years, and I can't deal. And this is I'm really sharing. I'm not feeling vulnerable because it's important to talk about trauma. So as we're going through that, I am not even really grieving about my mom. She was my best friend, the loss. And then I'm still trying to figure out where am I going to live? I'm not living with my dad. So that being said, and then COVID hits, I'm in my first year of sobriety.
Mm.
I had a lot of issues going through the past before that 8, 10 years. There's a lot story behind that. My mom had died, grieving, da, 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 drink, 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 drink.
Oh no.
So I'm going through this, isolating, and
Mm.
then, we get through it, life happens, but I got really ill.
Wow.
So in 2023, I'm in the hospital, ulcerative colitis.
Wow.
Going back to this happened at 51, colonoscopy on June the 3rd, my birthday, waited
Oh,
10 weeks to get it. You have ulcerative colitis in the hospital a week, blood transfusion. So all of
oh,
this,
shock.
and I didn't realize how much and why, because I was questioning every doctor. Why did this happen to me? I'm fit, I'm healthy. I don't know. And I realized it had everything to do with the past 10 years of my life.
Mm.
Doctors will never tell you why it happens. They'll only tell
Yeah,
you
no.
what the symptoms are.
In the last 10
They don't
years of
know
my
why it
life,
happens.
I I was pretty much not sober through most of it.
Wow.
And so when you shared that story, and I'm talking, because it's now become social after whatever hour, we're not working anymore. But I know that we'll all have our stories. And I actually really feel like this call was really kind of a shifter for me. And I know I'm not embellishing anything, but I was like, we're all in these scenarios, these
Mm-hmm.
situations, and now just set up your plan. I got to do me.
Yeah.
That's one thing I did not do. I had no self-love,
Yeah.
and I was like, you know what? I can't live my life because I need to take care of my dad.
Yeah. And
That's
mine was,
why I'm looking at traveling and getting out and going to Belize, because I'm like, I have more life and I can't be stuck in this rut. So I'm so happy that we are talking out loudly about this. And even I think the relationships that we have through Cherrington, I am going to forge on with Cherrington. You've inspired me all to just get at it, take a peek. It's like we're all new students again.
yeah.
And I was like, I'm in this learning curve again with a lot of things. And I'm like, fuck it. All right.
Well, and here's the thing that it can do when you have bad patterns, like you used to rely on alcohol to cope, right? And then
This
you
is
were in a rut, you were not being treated or valued. You couldn't even focus on yourself because it was always everybody else. I was in that in my marriage because of a really tough situation where I didn't feel valued and I
Mm,
was constantly just trying to survive. It was a
yeah.
survival for 15 years, coupled with the horse accident, which opened the eyes of my friends at my church to see, he wasn't even there at the hospital when I'm getting my surgery done because he didn't want to take time off work for his vacation time he had already booked for vacation. So, like, what does that say? A husband, wife having major surgery, kids need to be watched. My mom had to watch my kids. My neighbor had to come and help because there was literally nobody. In fact, I think my mom went to the hospital with me because I couldn't drive. I had to be overnight, like all these things. And he's
Wow.
doesn't want to take up vacation time. So what does that say? Well, it opened everybody's eyes to what I was dealing with. And then my church leaders actually stood to try to do a mediatorship and get me protected when I left. It was a whole 9 yards. Talk about trauma. I have a lot in that. And then I get out. The first week we're out, my daughter falls out of the bunk bed, breaks both wrists. So we're dealing with that trauma on top,
Oh,
on top of coming
good,
down with COVID right in the middle of the COVID year.
good Lord.
Yes, and we had it for 2 weeks. Now, thank God everyone made it. I just couldn't deal with going to the hospital. We did not go to the hospital. We all survived it. But because of that, we had immunity, didn't have to get the shot and all of that. And so I see God's hand carrying me through the really tough times. And this whole thing has been like an opening of my eyes. I'm getting out from bondage. I've got a whole new life ahead of me. Now I get to recreate myself. Yes, I've had my problems, but instead of seeing my failures as blockades towards my future, I see
You're-
my failures as a doorway toward my
Yeah, yeah.
future.
So to end, I gotta go. We, you, you're doing, you're working from your experiences. That's how you're driving. That's why, how you know and why you know the direction.
Yep.
Like, what do you know? I said it earlier. Do what you know.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to make sense in like, that formal business model because good Lord, we have our cell phones now. We just take videos. You guys got to buy this product.
And your voice will be heard by the people who are looking to connect with you as your personality is going to draw your own audience.
Yeah.
So it'll be the people that need your services, people like you, because you're drawn to people like you. I'm drawn to people like me. So
Yeah.
I like to
It's the
follow those
energy.
folks. Yes. And now I'm getting my circle, my new circle of friends replace the old circle. Well, I mean, I had some good friends, so I don't want to throw them all out, but particularly my ex relationship, which wasn't good, and that kind of people. I'm staying away from that, and I'm moving on towards the people that I want in my community. So the magic's in the marketing, the assets are in
The
your
magic's in the
community.
marketing. It sure is.
Magic's in your
Okay,
marketing,
my
but
friends,
The assets in your community. So don't forget about that. Whoever owns the email owns the business. That's my 3 lines.
Look at you go. No, that was like
So we'll always be friends, no
do
matter what.
TikTok.
If you ever like
What do women in business after 50 talk about? What are you going to do on TikTok? Do that video.
That's a good idea. I love it, Aimie. Let's connect some more. Keep in touch, and I want our community to go on beyond Sheridan when your accounts end or whatever. Let's pull ourselves
Yeah,
together.
cool. No, I put you in the 5 o'clock my time. You're now in the phone, and it's reoccurring every week.
Sounds good. Woohoo!
Alisa, be well. Take care in Alberta. I love Danielle Smith. Love her.
Yeah, I was really hoping she'd push back harder against Canada, but I don't know. Now she's doing stupid things, and I'm like, for the love of. But anyways,
Just protect your province. That's all she's doing. I love that.
and honestly, I hope that's the way it. Honestly, I hope it goes that way, and
She will not fold. That's one thing you got to
I hope
get
we
from
become
her.
part of the U.S. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. No,
I'm
honestly,
feeling you, Alyssa. I've been thinking
we'll
that
be better
for the
off
last year.
for what they siphon out of Alberta to pay for the rest of Canada.
Yeah.
Honestly, we are the state or province. See, I'm already talking like an American. We are the province paying for the rest of Canada. 5.5 million people pay for 23 million people.
And Alberta also pays. It goes to the U.S. as well. Alberta's oil.
Yeah.
Like it's probably
because Canada, who wants to unite, wouldn't let us build a pipeline across Canada.
Yep.
That was going on.
And British Columbia, if you want fentanyl, we could send it over.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, I know. That's why we're trying to stop it. Well,
But
anyway,
it's true. It's become like global. Canada is now known for the fentanyl capital of the world.
Wow. Yep.
And I live here in the province. That is like where it's at. So if you ever want to come down and visit, come on over.
Come down and visit. Yeah,
I'm still trying to get my hands on Narcan pens, just shove them in my purse.
Oh, jeez.
I'm serious. I've had to call 4 ambulances since I've been here.
That's what they tell all of Canada. Get your Narcan and make sure you don't leave home without it. That's an advertisement.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, and the rest of the world has no concept. Like, they have no clue.
Yeah.
They think we're like this happy-go-lucky maple syrup eating, hockey playing country, when no, it's like civil war is about to unload here, and people don't even have a clue.
I think so. It's it's a bad vibe. It's a bad vibe.
Yeah.
Well, and especially with stuff going on now with the trade wars, I think that's only going to put more pressure on the Canadians as well as on us as well, because you guys are, it's not you guys, but the leaders are not quite thinking. So.
Oh no, it's liberal, but the problem is, like, they're gonna get voted in again because everybody's drinking the COVID Kool-Aid. It's the same thing. The government came on every 10 minutes saying, "Go get your COVID shot. Go do this, go do that. You're gonna die, and anyone who isn't vaccinated is the devil, and they're gonna kill you, and yada yada." Right? But anyways, they're doing the exact same thing. How dare you go to the States? How dare you, anything?
Oh yeah.
Well, and they're trying to talk Kennedy down as well with what he's wanting to do. Well, he's anti-vaxxer on everything. No, he's just questioning COVID and its effect on the youth. Hello?
Yeah.
It's like,
he's questioning, why are we giving our children 48 vaccinations?
Yep.
Okay, guys, gotta go. We're on the vaccination. Oh, we gotta go.
Autism level go through the roof.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you next weekend. Bye, Aimie.
Bye, Aimie.
All right. She's always so fun when she comes on. Such a live wire there. Good Canadians. So.
Meg, what do you got going on?
Yeah, let's hear from you.
You were trying to show us your everything bliss. I pay attention.
Well, I'm always like, okay, I work with so many people who deal with stress and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, could I handle her as a client?
No, she's a lot.
Delete that.
Yeah. You could
Please
tell. I
delete
figured
them.
she was a recovering alcoholic or drug addict from because I know so many of them. I was like, oh, she's totally a past tweaker. Like you can just feel it, the vibe. You can.
Yeah, and that was the big thing too. Well, the other thing that I do not work with is people who have depression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because of the fact that I'm like, no, I'm sending you to
Yeah.
referring to you and you
It's
and you and you
dangerous.
and you.
Depression's
Um,
dangerous. It can go down fast and get ugly fast.
so when I notice that, I'm like right away say, listen, I am not a healer.
Yeah.
I am listening to what you need, and then we're gonna switch it around so that you empower yourself. That's my biggest theme. So,
Empowering them
yeah.
yourself in all these different
You
areas.
know, and the thing that a lot of my friends' kids are now in their 20s, and they're like, I was talking about, Aunt Meg, Aunt Meg, Aunt Meg, blah blah. I'm happy to be Aunt Meg, but they're like, you know, someone like you is somebody that would be some that could get us to get out of that weird social media, like having to feel like I have to be accepted by everybody else and really, really love myself. And I was like, and and Aunt Meg, that's what you've always instilled in me, but
Mhm.
and I'm like, so they're like, instead of the veteran stuff that you've been doing for years and years and years, why don't you do, and this all happened like between the time that and I found that I found out that I'm really highly diabetic.
Oh.
So I had an eye appointment, and the eye doctor said, I don't like what I see. I need you to go see um uh ophthalmologist to just confirm that
Yeah.
it's not retinal detachment.
Yeah.
And then I got the next day I had to go to the ophthalmologist, but I figured I'll ask one of my friend's kids to be my, chauffeur because, because I didn't want to use dad who's like 86 years old, um, driving me around at night.
Yeah.
And so but Liam was like, Aunt Meg, da da da. And I know that you're trying to do this thing and you've been talking with mom with trying to put together this program. But I really think that you're really needed for people that are in the 20s. It's like, he goes, can't you just shift around the programs that you have so it goes towards,
Gen Z.
yeah.
Well,
And
do you want to know the number one course amongst their age group and trainings at work for Gen Z? Social etiquette. Literally, how to talk to someone, how to shake someone's hand.
Oh,
What
true.
yeah,
to, yeah,
eye contact.
eye contact, all of it.
I
Yep.
used to do this to them all the time.
Yeah,
Look at me.
yeah.
And then, if they had their cell phone, I was like, I'm putting it in my backpack, I'm putting it in my backpack, like we're having conversations.
So
So how do you feel? So
you
it's
make
like
fanny
talking.
packs popular again, and they put their phones in them. Use clips of The Rock from a couple of his movies. He's got the one there. He plays the CIA agent, and he wears a fanny pack, but he doesn't call it a fanny pack. He calls it something else. His hip man purse or something like that. He has a different name for it. And Kevin Hart goes, "It's a fanny pack,"
Oh,
but he has a
funny.
different name. Like,
Yeah,
Well,
in England you would never say that.
yeah,
they created something with all of our schools in our area. Then the kids have to lock up their phones when they go into school, even during the break time, unless they're going outside the building. That's the only time they can have the phones.
yeah,
Which I mean, it's hard it's harder to get a message to your student because you have to go through the headquarters, but they said that's helping with the eye contact with the students in between breaks because they have no reason to do that. Most of the time they're on the phone.
Mhm.
My kids are terrible about this. And
Yeah.
so, and it's something I noticed. It's weird. My ex grew up in my generation where you didn't have all the phones, but
No.
he was on TV so much. And I noticed, and maybe it was just him, but I would have visitors come over to the house and I learned the etiquette of greeting your visitors,
Yep.
eye contact, sit down,
Visiting.
visit with them, and
Yep.
actually be engaged. And he would go off, maybe he'd say hi if you were lucky. He wouldn't necessarily even stand up to greet them at the door when I have people come over. He would just like hi, just real short hi, and then he'd go off to the bedroom to where he could be on his computer the whole time that I had visitors. He didn't always do this. There were a couple times where they were mutual visitors, like they wanted to visit both of us. But when it was just my own friends, he would disconnect. And I don't know if it's his own issues, but I wonder because my family would have us only have an hour or two of TV. That was it. And we were outside playing, we were working on our crafts. I don't know what his family did. I know he watched a lot more cartoons than I did, and I wonder if that TV screen time affected his brain or not. But it's one thing too. I would go to the doctors, and anything the doctor said about cutting and limiting screen time, he would poo-poo and say, "We don't need to do that. We're not going to follow that." So he has this kind of animosity towards advice anyway. Anybody's advice if it's not his idea, and that's probably just part of whatever his conditions are. You can guess what they are. So, but I'm not going to play diagnose, although the counselors did. I will say, a therapist, shall we call them? I would just say that, I have noticed a difference in the etiquette of people that are too tied into digital media. They can't connect. They really
Well,
can't.
they don't, all their parties are online. Like my son's 19.
Mhm.
Like all the parties are online, all their hangouts are online.
Yes.
It's all that way.
My friends' kid,
And
my kids have their friends over, but they're teenagers and they're all online on the games.
my son got involved with, it's called Warhammer. It's kind of like a cross between Dungeons and Dragons and Risk, the game
Okay.
Risk. I don't know, board game. And it is I'm like, please do it because he goes and socializes with 8 to 10 to 20 people in a room, no screens for like 6, 8 hours. And I was like, this is good. But I mean, Wyatt is fully capable of having conversations because I dragged him everywhere as a single mom,
Mhm.
when I was working and all the things, he was with me. And, so I mean, he has the capabilities. It's just he's also very good at being on his own by himself. Like he
Yeah.
just doesn't phase him, like it's interesting, um but anyways, sorry. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the Gen Z is interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, we were growing up until my ex made the rule I couldn't bring him to church, and then I got divorced, and now I can bring him to church. But even then, the connection isn't that good. They have a hard time making new friends.
Yeah.
They do have their old friends, but they're all through the internet because now we're separated because I had to move out of the old neighborhood. So I don't know. I question how well my kids are going to connect. But then again, I've got a youngest one she's got all these friends. They go do things together. So, she's in the craft age,
It's a
like,
little bit of personality. I think Meg would agree with that too. Some of it's personality too.
yeah,
Some people are just more outgoing than others, and
she's
that's
very
the same in
outgoing.
kids, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it has allowed, if you aren't an extrovert, it's allowed, which a majority of the population is an introvert. It
Mm.
has allowed the introverts to introvert. Like they don't
Yeah.
have to socialize. They don't have to go out. They don't have to do anything. Your food can come to you, your groceries can come to you. Like probably the number one phobia that's going to increase is that one where they're afraid to step out the door
Mhm.
and see the world because of overwhelm, right? Like,
Yeah, the anxiety level of the 20 somethings is amazing.
mhm.
That's true.
They're
Yeah.
like, I always have to remember what you say when I'm starting to get very anxious. And I'm like, okay.
Well, some of that too is the stresses that our young people face are way worse than when I was 20. Like
Yeah,
I
we
just
we
it's
got to play and
because of overwhelm,
climb
right?
trees and
Because the
Ride
information
bikes.
they have access to is
It's
overwhelming.
Yeah.
crazy.
It's
Yeah.
The
overwhelming.
stuff that they know before they should even know. I'm
Yeah.
like sitting there going, "Oh, you're 3 years old. Can you
And then
behave a little?"
like, my 17-year-old's going to turn 18 here in less than a week. Can you believe it? She 17th, March 17th, St. Patty Day baby. She's turning 18 and
Hey,
we've been
mine's an
talking
April
about it.
Fool's baby.
There you go.
She's born April 1st.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, anyway, the whole thing of her growing now at that age where she's going to be looking at her getting her job, she's trying to figure out how to do insurance. It got her car, and now it's like, how is she ever going to afford an apartment or any place to stay in? And like she has to room with somebody, but then the two-bedroom apartments, the cost is like your entire paycheck. So the only way you can do it is rooming with somebody else in some kind of a two-bedroom situation. But or well, I'm living in the living room, so I told her I'm not too I pretty much let her have the she and her sister were supposed to share the master bedroom. It didn't work out that way because they were too far apart in age and not getting along, and they're used to having their own room at their dad's house. So okay, whatever. So I gave up my room for them, but I'm like, yeah, I don't mind getting my room back, but at the same token, like she could, pay a
Stay
little
there
bit
and
there.
save some
Yeah.
money. Yeah.
Yeah, when her dad stops paying the child support, which at 19 is the age, so I'll have one more year. That's when I could use that money if she's willing to help me out. But if she's not, well, hopefully my job will be my business I'm building. Hopefully it'll be paying by then.
So
Boom.
when your job is creating money,
Yep.
when your job,
Yes.
remember
When,
life
not
and
if.
death by the tongue.
Yep. When. But
So
I mean,
speak
hopefully before then.
boldly, ask bold prayers.
Yep. And believe. Yeah.
So, and
Yep.
I think that's coming from someone like me that was wound tighter than a nuclear bomb. Um, I honestly, I'm like, I wish the kids would find Christ because the overwhelm just gets lifted. When you start realizing how unimportant all of this stuff around you is, it's it just alters everything. It alters what you get stressed over. It alters what you truly care about. It alters, and all that weight can be lifted.
Because
And
he's
again,
in
I have a
control.
little write up in my book that that will just like my personal experience on that. But I
Um,
just, oh, Meg, did maybe, I don't know, Meg, do you know I'm writing a book?
Oh no, I didn't know that
Okay.
you were writing a book.
Yeah.
Me writing a book would be like, let's stab my eyes and like make me cry.
Well, I'm doing a book. Have you ever heard of a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm kind of doing that from my perspective on becoming a Christian. So instead of it being Rich Dad and Poor Dad, it's Alisa before Christ, Alisa after Christ. And just some of the things I ran into um, for like I don't want to say challenges because that's not the right word, but obstacles in regards to not understanding. Because like when someone grows up in that setting of being a Christian, like Christy
yeah.
and I talked about praying, and I'm like, I didn't know how to pray. I did not know how, like, what does this look like? What is it like? And she's like, what? Like it was a big thing. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
had to learn and understand that it is literally a phone call to God. And that was the best way I could mentally hash it out is, hey, if I'm going to pick up the phone and talk to my bestie, I'm going to pick up a prayer and talk to God. So whatever I'm going to talk to my bestie about, I'm talking to God. And sometimes just it can be about, I'm going to the grocery store. Okay, God, give me safe passage. Give me, like right now I could really use a stretching of my grocery dollars and, but whatever food I can get, I'm blessed to have. And thank you. And, a whole lot of thank you because that is the other thing that is forgotten in the world is being grateful. Like it is forgotten. And entitlement is, I full on believe, a sickness, a disease, and it is spreading like rapid fire. And it is, to me, the root of probably at least 70% of the world's problems.
Yeah.
And you can't have entitlement if you see your life through God, Holy Spirit, and Jesus Christ. You just can't.
Right,
It
because
doesn't
everything
mesh.
came from him. He's the
Yeah,
creator of all, and he's the one. It says in him we move and live and breathe and have our being. I mean, when
yeah,
you start to think about, wow, my ability to breathe, my
yeah,
ability to move, it's all dependent upon him. And then that verse in Colossians, he holds all things together.
yeah.
So when I can be reminded of that, when I go, I'm facing this, I don't know I'm going to get through this, and I keep going back to God's got this.
Hmm.
And it's like when I had that T-bone in my car, I was supposed to leave for my mission trip to Utah the very next week. I needed my wheels, right? Okay, God, you're gonna get me there some way or another. You got this car issue. My insurance funded the replacement vehicle. It wasn't 100% because it was a used, I mean, pretty old car. My new car is not that new either. It's still used, but it was enough where I could fill the gap between what I had in the bank account and what the insurance gave me. And they gave it to me at the accident. I think it was Sunday. And by Thursday, I had the money. I bought the car on Friday. Like, talk about God and his timing. Everything fell into place. And
Hmm.
like, I told this to the people that took me home that night after the accident. God, I can trust God. He's going to get me through this. I know I'm in His hand. I did it. It wasn't something I created, right? So I know that He's going to walk me through just as He's walked me through everything else that I went through, the horse accident, all that stuff. And there's such peace. And
Hmm.
when you rely on the Lord and his strength, in fact, Paul said, I've learned to glory in my weakness, that the power of God may be manifest in the weakness. And so when I feel like, oh Lord, I can't figure this out, or I'm struggling, or I don't know what I'm going to do, I just turn to him. But then you're strong and you're the God of the impossible. And I was thinking of that in relation to things I'm trying to build in my business right now. I'm doing some things that I think, not a lot of people have been able to do, or maybe they have, but I haven't been able to do it before. And so I'm like, it feels impossible to me, but I'm like, God, you're the God of the impossible. Then I get to church. Right after I picked up my kids, I went to the afternoon church. And guess what the sermon was on last Sunday?
Hmm.
How God takes what's impossible and turns and what we might think are bad situations in our lives, and he turns it around. He uses it all for his glory, for his good. And it was an incredible sermon. I was like, man, I almost posted it to the community because it was so good. But it was like, that's just like our God. Like, God, you must have been listening to me talking to you on the way over to church and told
Yeah.
that pastor to talk about it that morning. It was so cool.
So, so to swing it back, Meg, it's basically my story on how it took someone that was wound to the point. Um, I had depression. I had gone to extremes to hurt myself. I had done in my past life, and then lost everything. I lost my house burned down, my dog had to be put down, I lost my company, um, lost everything I had. And then I think it ties into the 66 books of the Bible, and one is called Job, which I thought was job. And I am that story. Like, I lost everything, and um I know at some point, whether it's my last day or whatever that looks like, I will be repaid back tenfold because of my faith in Jesus, and whatever that looks like, it will be shown to me. Um, but it just I think a lot of people struggle to walk through the doors of a church because of what religion has done to people.
Mm.
And that there's a chapter in my book, and it's called Religion versus Relationship. And a good Bible-based church is about relationship with Christ, not religion, which religion is about the formalities of appeasing men. And that's the difference. And so many people, they just lump it all together, and they're
Mhm.
not the same. They're not. And I think more people need to realize that, find a good Bible-based church. My experience, again, the best ones are either Pentecostal or Baptist. They seem to be the most into relationship with Jesus. Um, compared to Catholic, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not beating up other groups. I'm just stating the differences. That's all. And I just, and again, this will be my personal perspective and my personal story. And it just ties in. I'm going to do blogs, and then I'm doing t-shirts. I think you heard about my t-shirts. And
Hmm.
so then it all ties together. The book is just another stepping stone for that. And ironically, Christy, I didn't get to tell you this when we sat down with Pastor Mark
Yeah.
and I told him about all this and the book. Anyways, he goes, "Oh my gosh," he goes, "that sounds like a really good book." And he goes, and then he goes, "You'd be able to build out a four quadrant like in regards to spirituality, like before Christ, these things like like with Robert Kiyosaki, he's got the business quadrant. He's like, you could take your perspectives and put it into something just like that. And I'm like, that
Like
ironically
it.
was Robert Kiyosaki's second book. So
I like it. Yeah, his four quadrants, and he talks about the different ways that people in that mindset might get stuck in each
yeah.
one. I
Mhm.
like it.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
the
it's
next book.
good.
Yeah. And I was like, ooh. So yeah, so I'm like, again, it's a proven formula. I mean, Robert Kiyosaki's made millions, so the format I'm going to use is like that. But anyways, it's just, you know,
I
I
love how you're
just
tying everything together into kind of like a base platform for
mhm.
everything to be able to flow
And
out.
there'll be a lot of very funny stories, like, like my confusion on not understanding that there's a book called Psalms in the Bible and it doesn't start with an S. That I
Uh-huh.
spent a month looking for this book because I was like, everybody keeps saying start with Psalms, but there ain't no Psalms. Well, somebody show me where Psalms is. I finally went to the
Wow.
Bible study and they're like, it's right here. And I'm like, that's not an S, that's a P. That's a
Yes,
P.
they
That's a silent
are.
P. I'm like, I didn't know that. No one told me this. This is not something so just over and over stuff like that, eh?
That'll
And
be great.
yeah, so I'm just gonna put a bunch of that out there and just how, yeah, the shift in mindset and heart that I received because I told Christy when I got baptized, it's recorded and the link to watch that recording will be in my book
Nice.
and on my website and stuff, and so people can see that this is what I did, this is what happened, and so and
Different.
now here
I'm
I
not
am.
BSing.
Yeah, no, and exactly, right? So, anyways, but yeah, so I think that's an interesting. You've been struggling on avatars for yourself, like,
Mhm.
what do you think of that concept of looking at Gen Z? Because they do need a lot of help.
I was just like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So it would be learning about, like, it's literally being able to say what you feel,
Hmm.
like tying down to feelings
Hmm.
because
They're
they
all about
didn't.
that. I feel this. I feel your this. I feel your energy. That's their other one they use all the time. Your
Yeah, well
energy isn't
well,
good
I mean,
today.
and they're like, you're good at talking about a lot of things without like, you know,
They beat around the bush.
well, the thing is, it's just listening to what a certain person speaks like, and then being able to adjust your dial to be able to be able to listen to this and listen to that and listen to, and well, I'm lucky in the sense that I taught music for 22 years, so I've dealt with gazillions of parents, gazillions of, I mean, like if I really think about how many people I've worked with and had the privilege of working with, literally millions of people,
Mhm.
Wow.
literally.
And I
Yeah,
think that
I
gives you
believe
a
it.
natural doorway into that avatar, into that younger audience because you of your teaching background.
So then I was like, that's why this weekend I was like, let me try to figure out a way to tweak everything so that it's sort of,
If you can bring it in, you talked about music. I mean, and that's your background. Music has a very therapeutic component and calming, of the brain too. Like maybe that can you talked about that being part of your pain management course, but what if I mean, I don't know that you have to do just one avatar. Like you could still have what you have going, just another aspect of your
Avenue. Yeah.
business. And then
You
make
know what's
plans
really
for-
funny? Some of my 20 something kids that were my students like way back, in kindergarten, they still like to go watch the Turkey Time song. I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, remember Turkey Time that you used to do with us? And I was like, oh my God, you still remember it? And they're like, yep, every Thanksgiving I think about you.
Oh, that's so cute.
But it was like crazy. One time, one of my students from Tanzania spotted me walking through Princeton, came running towards me with a big giant beard and everything, scared the living bejesus out of me. And I'm like going, "Oh my God, I better run!" And 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 then I heard, Mississippi go, Mississippi go, Mississippi go, and I was like, he knows my name. Like, and then I was like, okay, we're in the middle of Princeton, and this guy is like walking faster and faster towards me. And my friends are like freaking out. And then he goes, "Don't you remember me?" I was like, and then he goes, "I'm one of your students from Tanzania." And I was like, sitting there going, like, it was 22 years ago, like blink, blink, trying to think of all of my students from Tanzania. And I'm like, going, there's no way. Like, there's no way. And he goes, I can't remember his name, but he said his name and he goes, you know, I loved your music classes. And I was like, what are you doing here? Like, that's all I could say is like in a nice way kind of thing. And he goes, I'm a doctorate program in Princeton. I would never thought of seeing you here. And I was like,
Mm.
uh, I live in the area, but it's crazy. I was like, oh my God. And then my friends were like, oh my gosh, he must have been in his 30s and he remembers you.
Mhm.
That's so neat. Yeah, you don't know
So,
the impact of your life until you see it reflected in your
right.
eyes.
And I was like, there must be teachers out there that have impacted so many different,
Yes, yes.
and so yeah. Where am I going with that? This whole weekend with everybody trying to give me all these, how to help myself and all this and that. I'm like going, "Hmm." But
Okay, I got an idea. Do you
okay.
do you want to play with one of my tools right now?
What's
We can.
what's your tool?
It's an AI tool, and I'll just
Okay.
it's something I've been playing with lately to build programs, and we can see what it'll give us for your idea. I'll just prompt the AI with some documents. We'll throw out a program for a Gen Z. Think of a name. I'm going to play with it if you want. If you, unless you have to go to sleep right now because we are kind of late.
I'm like, so
If you want, I was like, this is something
but
that it'd be fun to
yeah,
do. See what it throws up. As far as tools and ideas, I could give you the basic framework, and then you could take it this week and let AI expand each of the modules, and you can throw in more ideas and play with it if you like to try. Coming up with another course. It could be
I so like the name Rise, what was it?
rise reclaim,
Alisa,
rise something reclaim. Yeah, you know what?
yes, thank you. My
Mhm.
Keep
brain
it.
is like,
Keep that because the whole idea is
I
you
agree.
different
I agree.
programs for different things.
It's such a good brand and it's generational.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah,
it
so
like,
can I just keep it as Rise, Reclaim, Redefine
yeah,
as like that? That's
umbrella.
my
That's yours. That's
umbrella
everything. Yes.
that's
because
your base frame that you have, and it's kind of like what Alyssa's doing.
Yeah, like so for my t-shirts, for example, on my website, it says Triple Threat Tees, right? That's the company. But in my header, it'll say t-shirts with meaning. That's it. Just straightforward, simplistic, just like your three words.
So rise, reclaim, redefine will
Yeah.
be my umbrella. It could be for veterans who wanna or people who are dealing with pain and recovery. That could be
Well,
one
see,
of
when
the
you build up
spokes
with your
of the
website,
umbrella.
you can have like you're like, are you this age group to this age group? Well, here's where you fit in my programs under Rise, Reclaim, Rebuild. Sorry, did I say I'm wrong? Rise, Reclaim.
You're the one who gave me that name.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. I didn't write it down. But
It's rise,
Rise,
reclaim,
Claim,
redefine.
Redefine. So
And the whole thing is, it could be totally a whole spiritual kind of transition, also,
yeah,
so
it can
that
go any
some,
direction. It honestly, it covers all aspects, the soul, the mind, the heart, all of it, the spirit, all of it.
Okay.
and Christy's like writing away in her computer, and
I
my brain is like, I'm doing this to try to stay awake.
so I'm
Sorry.
You don't
going
have
to
to do
bring
this,
this.
Meg, if it's too late.
But
Oh,
no, it's
it's gonna
like
be
good to.
fun. All right. So what I did is I loaded my prompt document that I'm going to put in for generating a program for you. It's going to give you framework. So what we're going to do is I need to know to create a program to help. Who are the people we're helping?
Start with
So
Z.
Youth aged ages. What would you say? What would be 20 years old, 20, 30? What do you want to call us? What age range?
I guess 20 to 30.
Okay. Overcome the pain. What's our pain?
It's like the anxiety of having to try to fit in all the time.
Anxiety and overwhelm
And
with
overwhelm.
everyday societal norms. Something like that, Meg?
Well, we
Yeah.
can get a little more specific. So their pain point is anxiety and
You
overwhelm
know,
with life. But I try to get a little more specific. Overwhelmed with putting their life together or starting their like after college. Is this an after college or before college? Like let's get real specific with our avatar. And do we want to get specific females?
I guess
Generation
so.
Z?
Yeah. Well, I have I mean, Liam was the one who was saying, Aunt Meg, you need to just switch your program around so that it reaches people in our age.
Yeah, so we got the age, but the people you resonate best with tend to be females because females will, they take to your program a little better. They take to music. They tend to be more open-minded and like willing to be vulnerable with their weaknesses and their fears. And I find a lot of what
Honestly,
gals with
Christy, when it
anxiety.
comes to the younger generations, the female, it's more the males now.
Is it?
Like,
Well, I have two kids, two
yeah,
girls. So I mean, I just get it from the female side because of my, you know, experience with my teens. But
yeah.
my son is very level-headed. He's fine. Almost straight A student. He's like doing great. So I saw the anxiety more with my girls, but that's
Okay.
me. I can't say, Meg, you would know from your experience and teaching students. Hmm.
The thing is, like, it's almost like the areas that I've always worked with were like if I was thinking that I taught in the international schools, it was like kids who were really affluent, raised affluent. So they were sort of kind of entitled kind of thing. I don't know. It's almost as if so they had the opportunity to be able to go to the best schools, blah blah, because their parents sort of kind of, was able to.
We're gonna get a little more
Entitlement.
specific, graduate.
So
Entitlement.
it's almost like they feel guilty, like because of the fact that things that are going on.
In the early.
Yeah, it's almost I don't even. It's almost like a niche that I do understand. It's just I don't know how to put it
Hard
to
to put in
words.
words.
Um, it's that there's this weird guilt thing that they have of and all the expectations from their parents.
Okay. With
And
guilt toward having too much or not having not enough. I mean, what's the
What
guilt?
about
yeah,
overwhelm?
it's almost like that
What about confusion? What about
it's really
Too much thrown at them. I'm trying to kind of, I have to spell this out for it to really understand this program we're building. So, anxiety
I
and
have to
overwhelm.
think of it another day, I guess,
Yeah.
right? I'm sorry.
I'm going to try to fill this out. Too much thrown at them. Too much information. Yeah.
I guess it's information overload.
And
Because
expectations thrown at them from from their parents, from school leaders, from
I
leaders.
think
from
it's really
society?
because of from society. Like
Okay.
if you went to NYU and you're dealing with kids whose parents are, gazillionaires, whatever this and that, trying to fit in and making sure that you make top dollars when you actually graduate. And so it's like this whole and then they see like they're walking through the streets of New York City and there's all these people that are like homeless,
Mhm.
right? So they have this weird like this jealousy not jealousy.
It's an over empathetic for what they see in society that overwhelms them.
Yeah. So it's all the shoulda, coulda, wouldas.
Okay. Let's see if this makes any sense. I put your
I'm sorry that it
no,
went
this is
into
great.
this.
This is not something to apologize. I was hoping to do this for you tonight because it'll spit it out so fast. You'll be like, wow, and it'll give you a lot of stuff to think on, chew on, and work toward a little bit more refinement. So I'm using this document. I've been using it lately. My coach Travis gave it to me, and I've been using it for a lot of my stuff that I'm developing out. So it gives a framework. And then I'm saying your coach name is Meg. Okay, the coach name for this program is Meg. I'm gonna because I wanted to reference possibly you as a leader. I'm not sure what it's going to do. Is Meg who taught? I'm going to actually give a little more. Who taught music in high school? Who's
Elementary school.
in
Like
elementary?
I taught little kids. That's the weird thing. It's
That's
like
right.
kindergarten, first grade, third grade, like, and they're the kids that actually remember me.
And and this will be a program to help former students, or we don't want to get that specific.
No, no, no.
To help
It's just,
high school graduates in their early 20s overcome anxiety and overwhelm.
Oh,
They feel, I'm just breaking this up a little bit, guilt from having too much information overload thrown at them, and pressures pressures of expectations that come from the academic society, and pressure from successful can't write all this. Looks like I'm trying to listen
you
and type at the same time. It doesn't always make sense. Okay, let's see if this makes sense. They feel guilt from having too much information overload thrown at them and pressures of expectations that come from the academic society they grew up in. Or yeah, and from successful
y-
parents.
I
Pressure
don't think that's quite it because there's nothing in there about the internet, and a large portion of their pressures and ideologies are from the overwhelm from the information on the internet.
Okay.
Those of us when we grew up as kids, we didn't know there was 500 million people in Africa starving until, like what was that band that came out and they're singing songs and aid for whatever, right? because
Right.
we didn't have access to that. Now they have access to every hurt and every pain of every person on the planet, and they take it all in. That's what I think. That's where I'm coming from.
Thank
Maybe,
you.
yeah, that's the empathy overwhelm for all things in the world.
Yeah, they're like they can't even hone in on themselves just because of the fact that they're thinking about everything.
Yes.
Okay, so let's figure out how to word this. They feel guilt from having too much, and they feel empathy
They
for,
feel guilt from having too much empathy,
okay.
just empathy overload from
Um,
internet information, overloading their personal self-worth,
oh, self-worth.
which
You are
puts them
executing.
into which puts them into a state of indecision and inability to cope from the weight. Something like that, I'm thinking.
Something like that. They can't ground themselves
Yeah.
whatsoever.
They feel ungrounded and need a system of direction.
Yeah, I think that's a little better.
A system of, because this will be what you're asking for. You want a program that's going to give them that system. So
Yeah.
system of direction to,
Ground themselves to focus on themselves. Like it's
because
Yeah.
okay. It's okay to
It's
focus
okay
on
to
themselves.
okay. Yeah. So there's a whole group of these really feely, touchy people that just having a hard time. And then you got the other, it's like, where's the middle ground?
There isn't because of the non-grounding, because they don't look at anything bigger than themselves, as in something bigger than them can have the answer. They think because they have all this information, they should have all the answers.
reach
And
their
it's
full
like,
potential in fitting in 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 finding, how about this, and potential in finding a community where they can be see themselves as a part of the solution. They don't have to have all the answers. How's that? Reach their full potential in finding and fitting in with a community offering solutions toward bettering bettering
No, and fitting
towards
with a community
uh-huh,
that allows them.
okay,
to just be them.
Yes, that's what I think.
be them, not having all the answers and solutions for all the problems
Of the world.
they
Like they
see
literally feel
in the
the
world.
world's weight on their shoulders.
Yeah. So guys, you're really helping me figure out how to flesh this out with words.
Okay.
Because this is kind of the piece that, like, it's a framework that I'm using as a prompt for chat, but it doesn't know. We have to give
No,
this,
no, we have to fill in the blanks.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the end result. Let's see. Let's think of the words.
What
The
about
goal,
Meg, what about the word sympathy or empathy? Those situations like the sympathy overload and the
becoming
Empowered.
of empowering. I like that. With
My thing is always empowering
yeah.
people
and
so that they can make
Okay,
decisions for themselves.
um empowering themselves with direction and feeling
they can make decisions for themselves
that
and they
they can
can,
allow to be allowed to re revive no, what were your three R's?
oh yeah, to
Revive.
rise, revive,
Rise,
and
re
reclaim
reclaim, re-
their identity.
and
I don't know if that's right. Reclaim their
No, those aren't the three right R's.
rise, reclaim, and redefine
Oh, there it is. Ah, I can't find it. I did not
themselves.
themselves.
That's it.
All right, you like it? So what's so
Well, Meg has to like it, not me.
well no you it's going to use some of the wording. So um
I mean, this you can always go back and tweak it, right? You can keep
yeah, the
tweaking
goal of this
it.
program is to provide a framework for, I'm just trying to get this part because this is your solution statement for empowering these youth. So let's get real specific here. With direction, with a
And
sense of, with
sorry, go ahead.
steps of direction, or what do we want it to actually deliver?
young adults, I guess. Young adults. Young adults.
Yeah.
Adults with a sense of direction and feeling that they can be allowed to rise, reclaim, and redefine themselves. How's that?
Woohoo!
Direction and not the word feeling. It should be feelings, shouldn't it?
I don't
Because
know.
that was a sense of direction and
Yeah, it's plural. Okay. Is that
yeah,
fine?
plural. That's yeah.
Um,
So ChatGPT has to be that specific.
well,
Yeah.
you want it to give you real good modules and good training ideas and products.
The more specific you are, the less robotic it is.
Yeah, and
Oh.
less general. You want to get very specific to your target, which is why we put at the beginning the coach name, the coaches, the person teaching this program. I'm just called the person teaching this program is Meg. The instructor. We'll change that. The instructor.
I don't know, Meg, what are you, instructor, a coach?
I never even think of myself as a teacher per se. I'm always like, let me share my toolbox.
Okay, we'll call you a coach.
Okay.
Teaching this program is Meg, who has a background, an academic background. I can't
Wow.
even spell. ACADEMIC background. Teaching. I just want to give a little bit because it will probably reference it. Music to students in elementary school. Now she is developing this program. Okay. To help. There we go. Affluent high school graduates in
Whoa,
their.
whoa, whoa. Now she's developing this
Oops, you're right.
to her.
Okay.
I got you. I got
I'm
you.
gonna fix that. Can't even see. Well, I can see, but all right. Developing this program to help affluent high school graduates and youth and young people. Yeah,
Young adults.
adults in their early 20s overcome anxiety and overwhelm. These,
I think affluent is misleading because
okay,
we need a word where
middle.
no,
Fur.
it's kids that just have like the
Forget
ability
about
to buy a t-shirt or to do, doesn't necessarily mean that their parents are doctors and lawyers. It just means any kid that has a little bit extra, they feel like it's wrong.
All right. So before we submit it through, let me read
But
this.
you can leave affluent if we don't find a different word. Like
I think I just took it out. Now she's
ask Meg. Meg, what are you thinking?
it's just like kids that were entitled kind of. Whoa, what's the right word? Because the class that I did teach in Newark also.
Yeah.
Um, but in the inner city, but
Or you,
most of the kids I worked with were from really affluent areas.
okay. So
Like
what if they're feeling the weight of entitlement?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay, this doesn't quite make sense. These young adults feel guilt from feeling entitled, yet they feel too much empathy.
Don't say feeling entitled, the weight of entitlement.
Oh, guilt from of
Wow.
entitled.
It's good that you guys know how to write, because
Well, this is why it's nice to do this together because we can
Yeah.
kind of
Soundboards.
and then you can refine it some more you can use chat to refine it. But otherwise you get real basic, it's always bland. You want to get something specific. These young adults feel guilt from the weight of entitlement, yet they feel too much empathy and overload from internet information. I don't want to use that word again. Information draining them of their
Yeah, it's the opposite.
of their personal self-worth, which puts them in a state of indecision and inability to cope with life from that weight. How do you like that?
Yeah.
They
Again,
feel
wow.
Meg, what do you think?
This is really amazing how you guys are able to put my one sentence into exactly all the different things.
we're getting the avatar nailed down, and this is something else you can do more research with chat once we get a basic core program. Start researching on the internet for stories to go with your program. You can have chat even look for stories. It's been helpful. Chat's given me links to stories to fit in.
Meg, have you ever read a book called Four Generations in One Workplace?
No, my whole problem is that I have severe dyslexia,
Yeah.
so words fall off of the page.
So me too. So I listen to books on tape a lot.
Ah, listening. Well, see, that's the other thing too. Um,
Well,
So in
let's
order to
go.
listen to books, I usually have to have music as well playing. So like when I'm listening to his videos, so I can stay in tune, I also have music playing in the background
Are we
because
ready?
then my ADHD is attached to the music,
wow.
which opens up my focus because I've had to learn to cope with dyslexia and ADHD for decades before it was a thing.
Yeah, music actually helps me focus as well.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, let's go ahead and
I'm
do it.
just,
You ready to see what this does?
yeah, okay.
Here we go. Submit. Let's go see what it does. So it's going to read it. Let's see what it comes up with. Oh, please.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, it's not
Christy,
generating.
while we're waiting, is
Um,
this your chat or is this Adam's?
this is mine.
Okay, so you purchased ChatGPT? Is this the
No,
4.0?
the well, I have two different chats on my computer. I don't know why. One uses one and the other one uses the other one. This one is supposed to read it, but the other one is what I've been using, and the other one reads it. It's 4.0. This one, I'm not sure
Oh,
because
sleeping.
it's supposed to be the same account, but it always comes up with different things, and it might be confused because on my other computer I'm doing a totally different program. Please. It's like, okay, I'm going to have to put the text of the document in. Please use the framework because it didn't read the document. The
It
following.
didn't, I don't see anything.
Yeah, see, my other one works and reads it, and this one doesn't. I have a feeling they're on, for some reason, this computer, when it logs into chat, I think it's using the older model and it can't read it.
Yeah, because if you don't buy a subscription to the 4.0, it uses the free version.
I think this version is using the older version. My new, anyway, the new one will read stuff. This one doesn't. So let's see. But it's all right. It'll still copy in. So please use the following framework to create a program based on the above information. Okay. For some reason, it didn't want to read that doc. So let me do that. I will fix that. I'm just going to pull the document up and copy the prompts into it because I've done that before too. And I just loaded it. Where'd it go? I'm not showing it there, so why? Let me see if maybe I'm gonna try reset. Nope. Okay, let's go back and pull it.
Well, you attach it above, can you not click it and it'll open?
I don't know because once it gets loaded and then it went away. So I think it just I don't know what it did, but I'm just gonna open this and I'll pull the prompts out.
The write-up you wrote is all gone, like the one we did?
I think it lost it. I don't know if it's a way to re-download it, but I'm just gonna copy.
Well, just calm down.
I'm
Shoot.
not,
Let me,
No.
I,
Are you able on your screen just to scroll?
I just don't
up.
want to give away, like, he's not, like, technically you guys aren't in. Come
Like
on.
maybe we should copy what we wrote before we lose it.
I might just do that
Just
because
so we
chat
can
is not
copy and
acting.
paste it into like a Word document. I
Yeah.
always do that when I'm doing this stuff.
Yeah. See, it's up here, but it's not reading it. And it could just be the difference in versions. The one that's on this computer is reading a different version of chat. So I'm doing that so we don't lose it. It's not even letting me put, I just copied it and it's not letting me. Okay, let's try Notepad. Let me just see if it's even copying it. Nope. Oh, that's yours. Okay, that's not gonna help. So I just copied it to the clipboard and it might be because I'm on another computer. I'm trying not to take his proprietary stuff and show it too long. Come on. Just don't want to lose her stuff. I'm just gonna see what's going on. It may
Well,
be,
worst case
I'll
scenario, I
stop
took a
sharing. I'm gonna
Christy.
stop sharing
Yeah,
and
I was gonna say stop sharing. I did take a picture of the write up with my phone just in case.
yeah, no, see it's copying in the chat now. Great. It's because I was sharing it, chat wouldn't work. No, it's putting it together. Oh, you're gonna love this. Oh yeah, it's writing it now. You're gonna love this, Meg. This is so cool. All right, I don't know. I think chat it doesn't want to work while I'm showing the screen. I'm kind of bummed because this is so cool.
Yeah, but you can screen share after it's done writing.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Yeah, because I'm like going, geez, it usually just reads the doc and it wouldn't do it. So at least if I copy it in, it's reading it fine. And now it's giving us the core pillars and the framework. You're going to love it. And what it'll do is it's going to actually take each one and then you're going to have it, you're going to take this right up and then you're going to go to chat. Oh, this is so cool. Let's do a screen share. Yay. Now that it's done, it's going to cooperate. So
You can't cut and paste and put it in the chat on the side.
you don't want to, but this really builds out a lot of stuff for you. That's what
Oh,
I'm doing
okay.
prompt. And here it is. Step one, picking the best product idea and transformation. The niche, the core transformation, what is desirable? These are the points, the 3 points of what you're trying to accomplish. This is the results. Building the 6-pillar framework for it. Number one, power of the present, ground yourself. Summary teaches young adults. And this is just giving you the framework. You're going to go to chat and take this, copy it and say, please expand pillar one. What kind of resources would I provide? Workable elements, a quick grounding script and daily tracker.
Mel Robbins does the count back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go. It's
she's a
pulling everything
coach.
on the internet available for this kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So you might want to watch it. It doesn't.
So you've been through all the courses already.
Well, no, I didn't. I haven't done anything with your niche. I just now.
No, I'm
The,
just saying that Alyssa
oh,
Oh,
has
I did.
already gone through the.
I spent 6 figures going to different personal coaches, like, and taking course after course trying to help and rebuild myself when yeah, long story.
so what you're going to love
Yeah.
about each of these, you kind of build this framework out, then you build product materials that will go, and you could sell each of these individually. Then you could sell it as a whole course, buy my entire course through this, or just get the workable worksheet for whatever. Or you can do a coaching program. You can do a membership off of this. I mean, you can do an email newsletter that's covering each pillar. Here's the framework. You now have the layout. Now each week you're going to get an assignment with it. It's going to have, if you buy my newsletter membership on this series, and with ConvertKit, you can create a series of emails
Well,
that
you can
deliver these
even take
products.
this to like the people that like the youngins that have been mentioning this to you and get them to read over and see what catches their eye.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
I got
also
plenty of them.
you
Mm-hmm.
get your base set of students to go through it, and people that would you do for free, have them give reviews, which is what I'm going to have all of you guys do reviews. I'm working on Google reviews, and eventually I'll get that. I have to get my store up before Google will accept my business on the my business side, but that's what I'm working on. And see all of this. This is giving you a framework to start building this out and use chat. Look at step 3. So you saw that was step 1, which that's step 2. Step 1 is picking the best product idea. You might want to see what you can do to build out maybe an introduction in step one. Then step two would be your framework, your pillar one, pillar two, pillar three, pillar four, five,
And then just so you
six.
don't get bored, you can even take a bunch of this over to free ad copy and go through some of those templates.
No, yeah. I mean, use any tool you want to.
Yeah.
Chad has been doing a great job for me. I've been going to YouTube, finding topics in my niche that I'm building out. And then what I do is I take my same cell phone idea, right? You have something, play the video, the computer records the audio of it. Then I throw it into chat. Please give me the framework for this video or for whatever the topic is. And then I start to iterate on it. I'll pull another video, same thing to give different angles. And then I'll take everything the chat's given me, put it all together, and have it summarize out the frame. This is what you can do with each of these sections.
Yeah.
Building upon it, not just with what it gives you when you ask it to expand, but what you can find online and build into it.
Christy, are you for when you're transcribing your videos you're playing, are you just using Word like the, or are you using something else?
I use Word for getting the audio.
Yeah.
And I'm using chat, but then I'm also playing with like the actual pieces that people will get, the different products that I'm creating. I use Canva templates. I also use Designer for some of my ebooks. I'm also using typeset in formatting content as well. Like that, my lead magnet that I showed you earlier was actually a typeset document. I'm using all kinds of tools. So this is the fun thing about all this. So Meg, what I'm going to do is I'm so glad you suggested I copy that prompt because I would have lost it if we hadn't copied it. So good for you, Alisa. So
I'm a big cover thy ass person. So
oh, you are right. I didn't know it would erase it, but it did.
oh,
So
I've been there. I've been there.
all right, I'm going to put this down. I'm going to send this document to you, Meg.
Okay.
This is the kind of stuff I really get excited doing with you guys.
Haven't you heard that joke, Christy? About
What?
the devil and Jesus?
No.
Okay, and they're in a competition for doing computer work. And so they're both working away on their computers. And then there's an electrical storm and the power goes out. And the devil's like, I lost all my work. And then the power comes back on. He's lost all his work. And then he looks over, well, how come you didn't lose your work? And Jesus goes, Jesus saves.
Love it. And call Meg's youth framework. What do we want to call this program? We didn't even come up with a name. Because you got Rise Reclaim, but that's all your overall. So let's and that could be like the branding on the top header of your site. Meg's
I would just for now just put something that describes like a descriptor title, and you can think of something catchier because she's tired. I would just put
that's a good idea.
entitled youth program.
Actually, I'm going to even do better. We're going to ask chat to give us names for this program, and then we'll
There
throw
you
it on
go.
top of it. Youth program. I'll just call it youth program. How's that? To make it easy. And then I'm going to ask chat real quick so we don't lose that. It's just so much fun when you start to explore out each of these things and then do more research on it.
I'm like, okay, stay awake.
I know we gotta let you go, Meg. Sorry.
Uh,
It's almost probably midnight for you.
11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And usually I'm asleep at 9 o'clock. So,
You're an early riser.
yep. I usually get up at 3 o'clock in the morning so that I could work with veterans across, like that are in across the world,
Yep.
across
I
the
understand.
world kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, what am I? Soldiers that are abroad right now too. Woof.
There you
Yeah.
go.
you are.
Oh.
There you are.
I actually like the Rising Path one.
Yeah. We're going to put that.
Oh, wait. It came out with words and I can't even see it.
No, I'm going to put them right here. So there's your titles. All right, Meg, we just about built your program tonight. Just got you started.
Okay.
All right, so
Okay.
this over to you. You can go to sleep, rest well. We got your program started. Now you get to work with chat and then play with the designer's awesome too. You're gonna have fun with that. But designer is a little more book oriented kind of thing. It'll summarize, let's say you take some topic, but it
Is that
can't
what I can
take
use to
all
help
this.
me write my book?
Yeah, oh, totally. But
Oh,
the thing about designer, the AI piece, it's limited. I can only give it like one line. Whereas chat, I can give it a bunch of promptings, build out each segment. So what I'm
so I
using
can use
designer.
chat then to help me write my book.
Oh, totally. And like what
Okay.
I would do, like with chat is just like it gave us all this breakout with the prompting. Then I go and I'll take one little thing and have designer write one of the pieces, one of the work. If it's a checklist, that's easy to do. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
have chat spell out the checklist and then I go to Canva templates. But if it's something a little more in depth or more like a book or PDF I want to give or ebook idea, then I would take that topic and have it write the topics and then I can refine it. So this one lets you, it creates kind of an AI book with lots of different titles. It says, okay, which ones do you want? Not titles, but breakouts. You
Mhm.
select what you want. It tends to overwrite itself, like copy itself, copy its thoughts. So I have to go through and kind of weed it
Clean
out.
it up. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of cleanup of
Okay.
it. And then I expand on it and throw in more stuff on my own, but it gives you a framework. Everything does. All these tools are really awesome. So now I'm giving away my secrets, but these are just so great. And all of our programs are going to be so unique to us and our stories that there's no competition that will,
Yeah.
we can all
Well,
use
and
these
I'm
tools.
even laughing because I'm like watching even like with Adam's videos and how many people are just they're not expanding the framework. It's like they framed a house, but there's no walls, there's no windows, there's no, like there's no shingles on the roof, there's no paint, there's no, because chat will never do that.
Yeah.
Chat can't do that. And so, but yet so many people are just thinking that they're going to go make six figures if they just take what chat throws at them. Whereas chat just kind of gives you a starting place and then you got to go edit it.
And you got to go beyond editing. You got to go into the avatar. Really, the key is
Yeah.
the avatar nailing it down and getting that. That's the
He
part
even
that,
told us, he said with the publishers, like the demographic that the traffic is, it's 45 plus year old women. He said that right off. He said that's what the email group is.
yep.
And I'm just like, when I was looking at her stuff, I'm like, you said it. She's like, men and women. And I'm like, yeah, but this, like, the avatar in the group is 45 plus year old women.
Well,
But
that's the group for the traffic source, but
yeah,
she just pulled the VSL. That's very
I
broad.
know.
And
Yeah.
it's your job to nail that down. And she didn't know to do that because there's no training on this. So right now, I don't think Adam's giving any of this unique training.
No.
It's what we're,
And that's what I keep saying is missing because that's what Erica did. She
yes.
had with her avatar course, the workshops, the fill in the blanks, same thing you do with your course where you're like, okay, break out your why. Who are you to these people?
Well, and I will say that I don't know about the current coaches, but I didn't see them giving that kind of information on the critique of the page, which was like it's glaring at me. So
I
I
know,
don't.
me too. I was like, oh my God, I want to say so much and I can't.
Yeah, but this is why I think what we're doing with this, me doing these calls, I mean, there is nobody doing anything right now, and I think it's a huge gap. And so I'm
Yeah.
doing a gap fill, if you will, what I believe is missing currently in the current program.
Well,
And
there's, there, as much as there's really good stuff, there is still a lot of gaps missing. Like there
yeah,
really is for the components of how to, like I watch Adam like a hawk
mhm,
and I really, um, yeah, I'm watching the training, but I'm listening to
yes.
kind of more of the babble. Because he babbles a little, right? And he'll kind of let something slip on, oh, I would do this, or I did this,
Yes,
or
that's the stuff you
and
got to
I
catch.
really that's what I'm listening for.
Yep,
The
yep.
rest of it I can follow later. I want to know.
How does he think about his page? How does he think about these
Yes,
metrics?
yes.
And something that I noticed when her page came up, even before Adam saw this, the first thing I was looking for was that, well, I want to see on that page if it needed to be changed, what is her pass-through rate from that bridge page to the offer? And when I saw 10%, like I saw it right away. Like,
Yeah,
dude, this
me
has to
too.
be redone. This is
Yeah,
terrible. Like, I'm
yes,
used to seeing 40%. Now I know Adam with his case study, he's taken straight chat GPT. He's said he's not even checking headlines, which makes sense because he's trying to see what's the average person coming in with no background. They're just copying and
exactly.
pasting.
Because that's her. That's exactly what she did. Oh, chat gave me all the answers, so I'm just gonna plunk it in.
Yeah. So he's doing a case study that's realistic to the type of
Mhm.
person coming in. Let's see how well this pans out in terms of the value. Because I know full well a 20% to his landing page on his first test, that's not what Adam can crank out. He could crank out 40, 60% probably on first
Yeah.
try. And so I'm like, I kind of picked that up when he said he wasn't
No
checking his
kidding.
headlines. I'm like, yeah, because he's really doing is testing a real case study for someone coming in. And then let's see what the ad spin and how much tweaking needs to happen. And then he's
Yeah.
going to teach as you fix your page that he's going to teach the process of going through and refining it. So I think
And
he's
I mean,
going to
he
get
says
there.
it all the time.
Yeah.
You have to stand out. You have to know marketing. And I mean, yeah, and nobody's listening. Like, I shouldn't say nobody. There's very few people listening. Now, what she did with, if you take like that xylitol, probably you can slap the GPT out there with something that's got a 400 or 500% gravity because everybody and their dog is buying it, right?
Yeah.
But that's not going to get you on a consistent earning business potential. That's
Right.
going to get you on, ooh, I won the lottery for a day.
Exactly. And whether it'll make up her amount she spent for the program. I mean, people are wanting quick fix here. And this is not a
Not,
quick fix system
no.
at all. And so a lot of people that realize it's not quick fix, they don't get the result the first time they test or the second. And oh, I'm running out of money because they dumped too much on it, which a lot of people have done in the past. I think they're trying to fix that. It all boils back to not having the right mindset. Erica was really good with the avatar. I think her stuff is coming back. It's in the works. I've heard that Adam's actually
I
trying to bring
asked
those
and
back.
asked and emailed. So,
Well, I think what needs to happen, and probably if you want to message her in Discord, ask her if she could get her own call links like I did. I built that my call links from
oh,
before
yeah.
Cherrington got off. I built that in the official portal. She could do her own section in the portal. I believe she is starting her own section. See if she'll bring those calls over because they'll give her the links if she requests them. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, yeah, I will. I'll message her on that.
yeah.
Because I know, like, I was going through them. Like, I was going, they were, I had a scheduled time every week. I was watching a couple of them, because there's a lot of information
And
there,
she's
right?
good. She's
Yeah,
sharp.
yeah. And I was like, when they were doing the different actions and whatever for the write-ups and stuff, I was like, okay, yeah. So this is all. And then you're talking about how the ad banner and the landing page they need to link, which
Mhm.
is kind of hard because they make I was trying to understand that and I got to go back and follow that. I know we do a ton of different titles for the banners. I was trying to figure out with landing pages that it sounds like we do a whole bunch of different ones with the landing pages too.
Okay. Only thing is headline and image. The hero shot image.
Yes, we don't do the ad copy. I get that.
Right. So you could
Yeah.
keep it very tight avatar, but look for images that all kind of relate to the person that you're trying to target.
Oh, I've got thousands of images. I'm not worried about that. But I literally I probably have 15 different just shorts that I downloaded that I know that'll have amazing
You okay?
Oh, cool.
possibilities. And then YouTube videos. I probably have 3 hours that I gotta turn into GIFs.
Oh,
So
wow. That's a
yeah,
good job. You've
yeah,
done more of that than I have. I've been working more on the back end of products I'm going to offer. So, but I think having a sequence of products that will tie together really well. My thing says the power is giving out. Why the heck? My power unplugged? I don't think so. Well, anyway. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's all right. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this call. I know Meg's got to go to bed. It's getting late. I probably should go to bed too. But this was a great call. I really enjoyed it. And I love us being able to throw ideas out and see how we can refine our marketing even better. And like what we're doing here, Meg, building out another course module that you can offer on your
yeah.
piece. I think it'd be really good.
We and again, Meg, you don't have
Gonna
to.
be
It's
on
just
Discord?
I'll send it in Discord. Yeah, I'm waiting to close up the call because it's hard for me to
I'm
multitask.
sorry.
But yeah, I'll send the Word document to you in Discord. So,
Thank you so much.
Christy,
you're
can
welcome.
I have a minute of your time after Meg's gone? Just I don't want to keep
Okay.
Meg, but if
Yeah.
not, then that's fine. I can connect with you another time.
No, it's fine. It's okay. Let's do that. I'll connect
Okay.
you
Okay.
for a few minutes. It might be you might get
Bye.
it later on tonight. Maybe we'll go to get it tomorrow when you're away.
I'll see it tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, no, I'll be sleeping. All right. Have a good night.
Good night, Meg.
Bye. Good night.
Okay, cool.
No, I just so I'm starting to work on my WordPress. And so I know I know you said not to like work with some free ones, but ironically, I found I know you're gonna laugh at me, but I did find a paid one I really like.
Oh,
And the reason I like it is because it has about 400 options in the paid one. So
mm,
I could literally theme my Duff Services website plus my triple threat tees, all kind of similar formats. So
nice.
ease of work, but they
Yep.
all do the woo commerce, they all do so
Nice.
all your parameters. And I thought was reasonable. And then I can customize coloration, I can have
Yeah.
branding. And I think it was like for 3 websites, pro websites, and lifetime was $350.
Oh,
So
that's nice. In lifetime, you don't have to pay that again. So
exactly.
no, that sounds good.
And
Yeah.
that gives you 3 websites. And so I really kind of like it, but would like to show it to you. So I don't tonight's probably not the night, but maybe another time I can kind of just what I'm looking at there. So
Well,
uh
honestly, I mean, if it does the WooCommerce, and I just look at what you need for products,
yeah.
and I mean,
Like
most of
it
the
had
things,
we pulled down the one. Oh, I installed the one that I really liked, which was kind of slightly cartoony for the Duff surfaces. I don't know if you probably don't remember the ones that we looked at, but it was you had said a type Astrari or something,
yeah,
I think was the brand or theme.
yeah, yeah,
And they have one similar to that in this
nice,
one.
yeah,
So I was like, oh, and then like I'm looking at them going, okay, I see this page, I see, and then they even have like their themes are everything from truck driving to like
oh,
there's a
nice,
construction one, so I'm like my Epic Girl construction. Like
yeah,
I was just like, oh my gosh, like I think it's worth paying.
yeah.
And then like I said, I can customize all the colors and do everything. And
Yeah, you're doing fine. Like it's
okay.
typically to have somebody customize something for you is in the thousands of dollars, several
Yeah.
thousand. So
Yeah, no,
you
when I saw
doing
that where
fine.
you could and I might like I can pay an annual and then if I want later pay the lifetime, which is what I might do
Mhm.
just because I might end up going, "Oh my gosh, I'm so happy with these 3." I might because you can like you can pay for more
Okay.
lifetime website, right? So I might go, "You know what? I know I'm going to build out more businesses. Might as well buy 5 or 7 or whatever that looks like, right?" And
Yeah.
then I have that ability. So
And then
anyway,
your branding for one will tie to everything else. So
yes.
yeah, it's
Not only the branding, but the way the system behind it functions too, right?
yeah.
I'm going to get very good at being able to
Yeah.
manipulate the pages, manipulate the titles, manipulate, right? Because that I
Yes.
was looking at that
Everything.
going, oh man, if I got to learn a theme, like a formatting
Yep.
theme, every website, I'm gonna be a while.
So I'm
Whereas,
just the only thing that the advantage of not paying for everything all up front
yeah.
is that it gives you a chance to really play with it. And if there's something you discover you
Well,
don't
they
like
even
about
give you
the
14 days of free
yeah,
trial.
that's nice. That's
Yeah,
what I would do the 14 days and pull it
for
in.
sure.
The one thing I've had with some of the recent themes, and I don't know what this one would do because I couldn't tell by looking at it, but something that I've noticed in some of the free themes, because that's mostly what I deal with now, is that you'll put a theme together, you'll try to get your pages put for theme menus, and then it decides to pull every page into the theme, and then I couldn't get it to separate out. And that's a problem because the way I like to deliver products is I like to put them behind something that's not indexed, especially if it's a free product. So it's a page, It's not a blog because it's not going to show up in my blog search index, but
Mhm.
because those themes are automatically pulling pages into the menu and I can't get them out of the menu, it's basically defeating the purpose of my hidden page robot text system. And I can't tell that until I get into a theme and really work with it. So
Yeah.
the advantage of 14 days free before you buy anything, play with
Yeah.
it.
Well, and I'm not kidding you. There's literally, they have every single one of them. They have the free version plus the paid version.
Yeah, nice.
So I was like, just looking at it, I'm like, just curious. Like, I think I could even, if I wanted to go that route, I think I could do them all in the free versions that I like. And then when I want to turn around, do the paid version, convert them over and swap them
Yeah.
out, right?
So the paid
I,
versions often have the graphics that you're looking at that you don't get
yes.
in the free version. So
Yes.
that's the only thing. But really, I like this idea of something
Yeah.
you don't have to pay for right away. Test it out. You got
Yeah.
14 days. You'll find out if there's any real issues. If you can't get the social media to show, it's configured real funky
Yeah.
and it's not handling the forms properly when
Again,
you
I'm
do
not like right there because there's so much I'm still learning. Like I've been
it.
watching YouTube videos on how to use WordPress
Okay.
because like I don't even know how to build a website, right?
Well,
So
on my build a base, I walk you through the beginning part, getting a theme, and just very basic how to set up a blog so it populates to your theme. I even learned
yeah.
some more things recently on the new versions of WordPress because it's always upgrading. That you can create a recent post page and have everything listed out. And it used to be I was using PostGrid, but now you don't have to use that plugin because you
Mhm.
you can actually select the down arrow menu in widgets, I think it is, where it says recent posts. You can put it into your menu, designate a page for it, and it automatically populates everything recently. Now, if you want to have a category separate out, only one category displayed on a page, you probably use the PostGrid, which I show you how to install. It's one of the plugins.
Okay.
And it's more specific to that category if you want to have a page just with that. And you might want that if you want everything under one site. But if you want to divide it out, different domains to target different audiences, which will work better for your ads and SEO if you're more separate out the sites, then you can always, you may
Well,
not.
just like I said, I have right now the two I'm focusing on, the Duff services, which will be all of my Adam Cherrington stuff. So like everything I'm building out through the affiliate networks, and then the triple threat teas will end
Yeah,
up being, yeah, its own, and so then I can focus on those and then just keep going, right?
yeah, it sounds really good.
Yeah.
You're on a good path right there, and I think that's a good plan. And as far as me
Okay.
looking at it, I can't tell you about those idiosyncrasies of
No,
as
I was just wondering, like, I just was curious about you just seeing what I was looking at. So
Yeah, I just don't know how to evaluate it other than WordPress and make sure that it has the WooCommerce store
it
functionality.
does. Yeah.
And I don't know if you're going to need any other plugins functional. I do multilingual. Well, you probably won't need multilingual most unless you're going into another language. Then that's another plugin. It's really hard to use it though. I will tell you, a lot of themes don't like it, and it was working good, and now I had a paid plan a lifetime, and now it's telling me I need another tool. It's monthly, and I don't want to deal with it. So if
Yeah.
I do anything to the multilingual, it wants to break because I'm not wanting to buy this extra tool, and I'll keep it going. It's
No,
not worth it.
if I go
So
multilingual, I'll eventually do stuff in Spanish.
if you do, then what I'm doing now is I have sites that are more multilingual than my main site, just because it's a nightmare. It's just been a
Yeah.
real nightmare. So and it has so many plugins, and they
It
all
might be,
work with each
I
other.
don't know, it might be easier just to take Google Translate and take what you've written up and translate it and then just post it in there.
Well, it's going to look bad if you do. They'll know it was
Okay.
written by AI or Google Translate. It's a clear difference. I had mine actual looked at by real translators, and some didn't do well, and another one had to completely rewrite.
Well,
So,
and by that time, if I have to, then I'll pay someone to
or
build a website.
or you'll just make them PDF downloads in Spanish as opposed to trying to do multi. All I'm saying is
Yeah.
that one's a little nightmare. I don't think you need to
Yeah.
worry about it
I'm
really,
not,
and not with what's going on now with the internet and AI, and now
yeah.
everybody can just translate everything on the fly. It's not as much of an issue. I used to get a ton of traction from Spanish speaking countries
Well,
learn
makes
multilingual.
sense. They're either Catholic or Christians in most of those
Yeah,
countries.
yeah. And so, but now it's, now with new AI and all the new video stuff, you can do video in video in other languages. It's not nearly the need that it was. And so the
Okay.
traction's going down as well. So,
Okay.
so I'm not going to pay monthly for something I don't
No,
think.
no, no, I get it. But like I
So,
said, I'm just slowly just keep learning and building, and I'm just like, oh, I kind of focus on this side, your stuff, and then I go back to Adam's stuff because then I get hung up, and then I gotta wait, and then I go back to your stuff, I get hung up, and then I circle back, and that's what I keep doing. Like
hopefully you
right
can.
now, Adam's stuff, I'm almost through his first call. Somehow I logged myself out of my DIY tracks,
Oh no,
and there is no login reset on the login page.
support.
And
Yeah.
I did, and you know what their response was? Go to the login page and use the password reset. And I had to send pictures and go, there
Oh
ain't
man.
one. Then they sent back to me and said, well, try emptying your cache. And I'm going, okay, so I've got the person who has no idea what I'm even asking.
Yeah. So have you tried the calls, a live call and asking the questions of the coaches because they can maybe get that to Adam,
Yeah, yeah, if I don't, like I sent,
or
this
the
time I sent
VAs.
photos
Mhm.
showing there is no way to reset the password.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping because I know Mark overlooks a lot of the support stuff. So
Yeah.
if I don't get anywhere, then yeah, I'll do that. I'll go to a live call. Like I should
Yeah.
have a response because that's the other problem. 24 hours before you get a response, and they've been hitting about 20 hours. So
Yeah.
every time
Well, yeah. Yeah, you gotta have DIY tracks going
I
before
know I
you.
can't do anything until I get that back up. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, no, but that's the nice thing about having the two projects, right?
Yep.
Because I'm never doing nothing because, well, I can go back over here. Oh, I can go back over here. So
Yeah.
there's always something I can be doing, which is nice.
And I messaged your pastor last night who was interested in my programs and things I'm
I was
developing.
gonna tell, oh, that's the other thing. The stuff you sent me in Discord, I didn't send to him. I was like, gonna tell you, this is the perfect thing you need to send him
Oh,
now.
I did. I followed up
Okay.
last night too as well. I was just telling you so that you could, um, kind of mention to him about that. But yeah, tell
Yeah.
he, I don't know, he might have looked at my email. I just didn't check my email. I've been so kind of
No,
busy.
that's okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
he might have gotten back with me today. So I appreciate the lead. And if he
Yeah.
signs up for that, just so you know in the future where to go on my site, just for that. And the membership is not, the page is not ready because I'm still building the products and I don't
And
want
that's why I figured you
to
guys could
yet.
email until you could get like it'd be
Yeah.
great if you could get on a Zoom call with him.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah. And I told
and
him I
he's got
only
a paid Zoom. He's got a paid Zoom. So just get
nice.
him to send you a link.
And I'm talking to Tim. We might even just get my own Zoom with him under his account, and we'll both share the costs that way. Because
Yeah.
this is working out really great. And then when I do that, it will change the Zoom number in. I'll just post it
Yeah,
in the
whatever. So
community.
you
It'll be
can
nice and easy.
change that, resend it into Discord.
Yeah. So it'll be great. All
Okay.
right, Alyssa, thank you so much. You have a
Yeah,
great
thanks for your
night.
time, Christy.
Yeah, let's keep in touch over Discord. If you've got questions, problems, whatever, check
Yeah.
that new theme out.
Oh,
Sounds
I
good.
could chit chat with you every day. It
Oh,
wouldn't
we
be a
could.
problem.
I know it's fun, but then I don't get any work done. So,
I know. I hear you.
hey, and let me know if you want me to use my chat document like I did tonight for Meg, and you've
Yeah.
got your program idea. You saw how quick and easy, and now it gives
Yeah.
you something to work with.
Well, I
So,
was wondering, like, I'll probably use a lot of chat to get just base foundation for my blogs because it'll
yes,
help with scripture and finding right. And then
yeah,
from there I'll add my personal stuff to it, right?
yep,
Because I know I can go in and go, okay, give me perspectives with Job on, like give me kind of a synopsis on Job, right? Because my goal is to not, I don't want to say drown people because that's not the right verbiage, but overwhelm them
mhm,
because the scripture's heavy, right? Like
yes,
it is heavy. And my goal is to just pique their interest in a layman's version, right? Just be
yeah,
like, this is a great story, like these are amazing stories that can help you sort out your life,
I love it. So
right? Like
good.
just simplicity, right? And
Yeah,
and that's my goal with my blogs is to take the very deep stuff and just try to make it simplistic.
Yep.
because I think that that's what scares a lot of new people.
Yeah. Yeah, because it can be overwhelming
Oh,
and you don't even know where to start. And
most of them don't have tenacity like me, right? Like I'm a why, giant toddler. So, I'm just like, well, why? But why? And so
well, I
then
love it that you bring up the questions that a lot of us that have been raised in the church background. I don't even think to ask that.
yeah,
Like, wow, good point. Like,
yeah.
and somebody might have the question, but too afraid to mention it because
Absolutely.
they
Most
don't
people
know.
are too afraid, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's what I'm hoping my book will give them, that confidence to
Yes.
find. The only reason you have to be afraid is finding that right group, because if you're with the right group, you have nothing to fear, because if they're good Christians and they're Bible based, they're
Yeah,
not working with judgment.
that's right. Because we
And
all
that's what religion teaches people, is judgment.
right. But
My,
grace
again, my
changes
opinion,
everything.
my simplistic opinion of that. So,
Now, I've heard it said religion is bondage, but relationship is freedom.
yeah.
And that's where, you're
And
accepted
I'm not even going to go
Christ.
that deep in that. Like it'll just be, religion here is about appeasing man, and relationship is about your relationship with Jesus,
Mhm,
and what can it do for you, really? Because, and I'm going a little bit of that style because again, these are baby Christians, right?
mhm.
Once they get in, they're going to learn that it's not just necessarily all about them, but we do have to say a little bit of coddling things to get them through the door, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, the ultimate thing is that when you give your life to Christ and He's your Lord, He changes your heart so that you love and want to do the things that honor and please Him because it also blesses your life, right? It
Exactly.
comes
Yeah.
with it's the blessings
And
that
I'm going to touch on
happen.
that with my baptism, right?
I
Like
love it.
all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. But I still, and I know, like we even talked to, like with the title of the book about, I was a good person. And the reason I'm going with that verbiage is because most people won't walk through the door because they're convinced they don't understand John when it's stated that the only way through God to God is through Christ. And that's the underlying thing. They think, well, if I'm just a good person and I just have morals and I have a good marriage and I don't cheat and I pay my taxes, I do these things and I help people cross the street, I'm gonna get to heaven. And I'm like, I thought that too. I was a good person. I thought I was a good person.
Yeah.
And then I learned
Good
that's
title.
not the key to the gate.
That's a good title though, because it'll resonate with a lot of people. And like I thought I was a good person, but
Yeah.
then I learned or whatever, however your
And
title.
then my second part is now I'm a blank person,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because
keep the curiosity.
it has to be fill in the blank,
Yeah.
because I thought about, like, saved as a portion of it, but everybody's journey to that point is going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why it's blank. And that'll be the end of my book. That's why this book title is blank, because your relationship and your journey with Christ will be yours.
All
So,
right. Sounds good.
yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. I'm excited to see what comes of all this and
Yeah.
keep working every day a little bit better. One little step,
Yeah.
get stuck here, go there. I like it. So, all
Yeah.
right.
But I
Well,
was just like, okay, I gotta write this like 200-page book. How do I make? And then I was like, but can I use chat to help me, like, bring
refine.
like, here's my story, help me expand that, covering these top, like,
Yep.
points, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was like, okay, that'll help me expand it so that I can get a 200-page book, because that's my goal, about 200 pages.
So that prompt chat that Travis gave me, I mean, he's an expert copywriter and just done all this stuff,
Yeah.
and he's studying the psychology behind selling and building courses that people would want to buy. So
Yeah.
that's why we spent the time. I loved your input with Meg trying to help her refine her audience, and then you
Yeah.
saw what it sped out. Really good.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
And
fantastic.
she's been struggling with her avatar the whole time.
Yeah,
And then she's like, "Well, I have these kids coming." I'm like, "Meg, that's an untapped niche. Most people aren't thinking about that generation to help. Like, you look at Tony Robbins, he's not tackling that niche.
yeah,
Most of these people aren't.
yeah.
So, I mean, I
And
think
her
it's,
being a former teacher, that's why I mentioned I didn't know if it was going to play into some of its modules with her background as a teacher, but the fact that she has experience with youth, that's going to
yeah.
give her a natural inroad into that audience that she wouldn't have by her age. Like, if we're talking to someone our age, but
Well, it's going to give her, and the pink hair alone, right?
yeah, true.
No, but I'm being real, right? Because
Yeah,
that
you're right.
things they're gonna grab it. As soon as she was saying it, and then I'm thinking her, looking at her pink hair, and I'm going, this is it. This is the first avatar you need to go after because it's who you have. Your mess is your message, and your
I
mess
like it.
is all of these kids that are coming up to you now,
Yeah,
right? Like,
it's so
so anyway,
cool. Oh no, I
yeah,
think I think we got a real good start for her on that, and
yeah.
I'm excited to see what she builds out.
Yeah, I think it'll be really good because she's done so much in that area. And it's so close to her heart as
It
much as she
is.
doesn't want to say it. It is.
Yeah.
But anyways,
All right.
I'm
Well, we'll
whatever
let
she
you go.
decides will be good.
Sounds
And
good.
I'm glad she's sticking with her three R's because I just think that's
Yeah.
such a good brand.
Oh, yeah, totally. She doesn't have to throw that part out just because she's coming up with another program. She's done the one for health
Yeah.
and more on the healing side of pain, but that can still be there. But
Oh,
all
yes.
these are going to
Yeah.
be different funnels in.
This
And
is what I was trying to get to her about multiple businesses.
hmm
That's what that is. You have your pain business, you have your youth, young adults, you have, your veterans. Those are all businesses.
yes. And different avatars for each will also lead to a different sales funnel.
Exactly.
This
And
is
that's
going to
why I'm
be,
like, you need more than one to make the big monies.
that's true. Yep.
So,
Yeah, and I know she doesn't have a lot of ad spend, but if we can just get one of these, tying it with
mhm.
a product that converts, she's got her sequence that she's going to then build emails around, which is what I'm doing.
Honestly, when I was listening tonight, I think what she's doing, um, I don't know where Gen Z is online. That's what she would have to look up.
Mhm,
But Pinterest, I
mhm.
definitely think would be a good place for her and what she's
And she
doing.
could go low dollar on some of those platforms,
Yep.
especially not highly targeted in niche. So it's the
Yeah.
spaces in the market, then their dollars will go further.
Like I know a lot of Gen Z are on Snapchat, but
Yeah, they are.
I
My
don't under
kids.
yeah, I know, mine too. And I'm like, I don't get it, but okay.
I don't know how to get
And
into
TikTok is the other one. A lot of them are on TikTok.
the TikTok and the Pinterest together. Like Aimie was talking about it, and then
Yeah,
Eli, like it's gonna be really good.
yeah.
I think I love where our group is going. We're forward thinking, lots of different options. Don't have to feel like
Mhm.
you just have the one thing. We work on the one thing and we try
No,
to
my
put it all
goal is
together.
by the end of this year to have between 8 to 12 affiliate network items that
Mhm.
I'm doing, and then I just keep changing out 8 to 12 of them. That's
Well,
my
and
goal.
here's my idea with Adam's product, basically his funnel page that we start with that ties right in, or shall I say he's using a bridge page, ties right into the offer. Why not then follow up with 3 to 5, maybe even 7 emails on that offer that will
Hmm.
chat can help us work out, and then switch to another offer closely related in the email sequence
Yeah.
and upsell that way. It could all be affiliate products. It doesn't have to be just you have to pay ads for each one. You don't have to if you can collect the leads. And that's my strategy that I'm working on. And with my business, I think MMO is just you have to be so careful. Everything on Clickbank, I'm not finding a lot of stuff that I can promote. So I'm going to throw into my stuff. I can promote my own stuff because I know how good it is. And plus my
Mm-hmm.
own story, right? So
Yeah.
that's going to be what sells. And that
I again, like I will look at that too, going outside that. But for right now, I'm just working. Has said from day one, follow my system, follow what I'm telling you, you'll make money, right? So
yeah.
that's why I picked and even Meg liked glucose 6 because she said it was GMO free.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, that's cool, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I
And if you can get that one well with the avatar and all the studying you've done already with Erica, you're gonna I think your landing page will
Oh, I
convert.
wish you could see some of the imagery for my ad banners that's wild that I've picked out.
Oh,
Like I literally have some videos where it's just literally um like a woman's mouth like this, and they're eating a variety of different kind of sugars. One is a lipstick, and they go and they put it to their mouth, and then all of a sudden they eat it because it's a candy. But it looks like real lipstick, right? And I'm like, oh, this is gonna just drive people to click, right?
this is
Because it's
good.
so random, right?
Oh my
And so I
goodness.
have like all this kind of just random like stuff. I'm telling you, I'm excited when I get it up, and so
Oh yeah. And
yeah.
Adam says the key is, to have a number of different concepts that are abroad so that
I do. I have boring. I have middle road. Like I have a woman sitting at a table eating donuts. I have people doing the new donut trend where they take 12 donuts and they smack them down into one
oh
and then
wow.
they eat them. So I have some clips of that. I have,
Wow.
yeah. Oh, you can't believe, I'm telling you, when I said I went and scrubbed and looked for things that I could use towards diabetes, right? And weight
Yeah.
loss, I went,
Cool.
right?
Well, you
Yeah.
can inspire Meg. Maybe she'll jump on that bandwagon too and try to get, like I said, I'm just telling her, find a good Clickbank product that you think would go well. And her
Yeah.
niche is broad enough, just about anything.
Oh, any of these health products, like you can research them and see, find one, buy it if you want, try it, see what you
Mhm.
think. Like she should be able to find like some of the tonic waters and teas and stuff for weight loss.
Yeah.
Try them, see what they do, see what they,
Yeah. No, I
like
think so.
even the coffee one, the Java burn. Like, I mean,
Even the coffee one for Eli with her mom's waking up
yeah. Oh, she
tired.
said that's the one she's gonna do.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think it's such a good versatile one for our women avatar
a
area.
100%. I don't drink coffee, but yeah,
I don't either, but
yeah,
still, it wouldn't quite work for me, but it's all right.
yeah.
Well,
All
so
right.
great. All right, have a good night, Alyssa. Thanks for joining, and always appreciate
Mhm.
your feedback. It was really great.
Yeah, well, and this recording, it goes all the way to the ends like this, so I'll be able to, all that stuff I shot at you for my book, I'm like, perfect, I can just go watch
Listen to
the
it.
video.
Yeah, and the part of it I did have my screen sharing when we were talking about Eli taking Porsches. I'm like, oh, I should have had it off screen share so it could show her face, but she'll just cut what she can out of there. It's still fun because she's
But
talking to the
honestly, I
audience.
think like that one where she's got her daughter and like it'll film her as one of the participants, right? And she's got her daughter, even her daughter, you can hear her voice. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, Eli, that is exactly what the moms are looking for. Inspiration that, oh my God, look at she's on Zoom calls and her kids and it's okay. And
Oh,
like I
yeah.
just I was just like, and I had one saying I was gonna ask her, but she had to leave. I was like, oh, please do a voiceover or whatever she called them and say, toddler saved by grace. I'm like, that's like a t-shirt.
That actually is a good idea.
Right? So
I'll let you run with that one because that's a good.
oh, whatever.
It's gonna go
You
great.
tell her that's you probably might talk to her before I do. Go ahead. I just think it's a good one. So yeah.
I'm thinking your spirit wear. Well, I'm gonna do something like that too eventually. I'm gonna have different types of neat t-shirts with different inspirational messaging is what I'm gonna call it, where
Yeah.
it'll be like different types.
Yeah,
So
well, and that's the cool thing about my triple threat t-shirts. And then I'm like t-shirts with meaning. It doesn't
triple
all have to just
threat or triple thread? I thought triple threat.
no threat. Yep. Like
Okay.
threat. THREAT.
T.
Triple
Okay.
threat.
Yeah, I was wondering if
Yeah.
I misheard that. Thread
Nope,
or
triple
threat.
threat. It's just my Canadian accent coming out.
There you
Um,
go.
it's all like, and that's why it's that tagline, t-shirts with meaning,
Yeah, I
right?
like it.
So I
Like it.
can lead into, it doesn't all have to be scripture. I can do other things that just help you feel good, right? Like for sayings and stuff,
Yeah.
motivation. And because I have some other stuff that I've written out that isn't from the Bible that is
That's
also,
also good. Yeah, good
yeah.
motivation.
And so it's just a different line of shirts. That's all.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All
Bye.
right. Have a good weekend. We'll see you again, and maybe I'll see you on Adam's calls too. So,
Yeah, I'm always there. I've been on all his Thursday calls. Like I said, I'm more watching him and listening for what
nugget. He's good enough.
nuggets he's dropping. And then it's the same reason I watch the odd time the 2 o'clock coaching calls, because like 90% of what the 2 o'clock coaching calls is like people that are like, I'm like, a one-on-one could solve that. But every once in a while they'll drop a nugget. I like Dan did about the I gotta look her up. Lori Morgan, I think is her name. I have it written down, and she does ad copy specifically for women.
Oh,
And
okay.
I was like, hey, well, my avatar is reaching out to. I'm focusing on women 45 and older. That's my avatar. And I was like, ooh, I'm curious if I'd like to hear what she has to say. And I got a copy of that predatory thinking book, and so that I'm just waiting for. And I'm gonna probably read that. That'll be a bathroom reader. But you know,
All
so yeah.
right. You're trudging on. Sounds good.
Yeah. All right.
Have a good night. Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.